Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the second match of today for Saturday. We didn't get that game between Moana Pacifica and the Hurricanes, but the exciting news is we have got the Fijian Drua in action. They will be taking on the Reds at Suncorp Stadium, an extremely hard stadium to win at, although there is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and that is the fact that the Crusaders, they were just at home, and we all know what happened in that game up against the Chiefs, so it is going to be an exciting one. See how it does end up going. We have got City in the chat, also Mr. Tony, Paddy Wagon, Novmum is here, Johnny Blaze, David, and Lamani are all ready to go for this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Do let me know who you think will be winning this game, and also whoever is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There's a weird bar by my head. I am at Suncorp Stadium. I'm not too sure about how it is sitting at the moment, whether or not we will change it in the near future, but these are the lineups for these matches. It is going to be Harry Hoffett, Josh Nessa, and Taniela Tupou, Big Tongan Thor at number 3, Ryan Smith and Angus Blythe will be the two locks. Sururu, Fraser McWright, and Harry Wilson as the loose forward trio. All very capable players of being able to do good things for the Reds in that loose forward trio. Kalani Thomas and James O'Connor as the 19 combo. So no sign of Tate McDermott yet. He is still injured, sadly. So it means that he will be missing for a little bit longer. Hamish Stewart, Hunter Paisami making up the midfield. Josh Fluke, Jock Campbell, and Jordan Pataya actually gets the role at 15 for this game, which is quite a big change because he doesn't normally play 15. But this game, they've decided, you know what, mate, this is going to be a great time for you to be starting at 15, see how you can go and see whether or not you can help us out. Now, the Fijian Drua side, I will apologize straight away for my pronunciations of some of these names, but Ulia Kepa going to be there at number 1, Dolakoto at 2, and Tawake will be there at 3. Now, Sila and Roito Solia are the locks for this matchup. Deralangi, then Charika Davida at 8, and Mira is there at number 7. Matawalu going to be there at number 9. Tenia, or it's actually Titetila, who is there at 10. So that is rather than Baden Kerr or also Caleb Muntz, who is not there for this match, but instead Baden Kerr. He slots in at fullback for this game. Ravuvu at 12. Vota at 13. Ra, or this is the name that messed me up so many times last week. And the worst thing is he scored quite a few tries. Ravu Taumada is there at number 14. And Habosi out on the other wing for the Fijian Drua. Then looking through at the benches that these two sides have gone with, it's going to be Faisila, Fortuaika, Nunga as the front row replacements for the Reds. Vest, Tui Lima, Jeans, Creighton, and Greeley. And there's Anhakwa, and they had all the best Fijian Drua in that one from Azinatha there. And she is going, or he is going for the Fijian Drua in this matchup. Then for the Fijian Drua, it is Togiotama, Koroi, Duadua, and Duadua, I believe it is, and Solo as the front row replacements. Then they have got Tufa Galili there, or Tuifa Galili, I believe it is, at number 19. Tamani at 20. Frank Lamani at 21, coming back into the side. And then it is Mate Thiwa, who is there at 22, and Ratave as 23. And Hamish Fijian Drua is full of Fijian national player teams of the name, I guess. They are indeed. And they've got a very good side in Super Rugby, getting their first win last week for the Fijian Drua side, and they will be hoping to continue that momentum. They beat the Rebels, and they were actually underdogs going into that game, but now this is the way that the table is sitting currently in the Super Rugby. The Brumbies up the top, as you can see there, the Crusaders, they are sitting in second. The Chiefs caused the upset, and because of that, the Chiefs moved themselves up into 5th. The Blues in 4th, the Reds in 3rd, and then the Crusaders, they are sitting right there in that second. Like I mentioned, but the Reds, if they win this game with a bonus point and a very comfortable win, they'll move themselves into 1st, but more than likely Crusaders will get overtaken by the Reds if the Reds do end up winning this game. Fijian Drua, though, there's a lot on the line for them. If they win this game, they go right up to about 6th or so. Or in fact, they will be 7th for that one. So they will let themselves into the top 8, but the first step, of course, is trying to get themselves a little bit closer to that top 8 position. We will go like that, and we will go like that. As I know, Hamish, do they have, or have you ever done the All Blacks haka? Do you understand what they do fully? Says Coding. So we did have to do it for school at one point. I believe it was for an exchange, but I wasn't really in the rugby team too often, so I didn't get to do it as often. You should hang out with Reed Boyfriend Lee one day, says Ollie there in the chat. And then I do understand, like, I kind of know the New Zealand or like English translation of a majority of it, but I think it's been a little while, so they have kind of remembered it off by heart. I'm going to see whether or not I have got my other Suncorp that I can put up behind me, because it does seem pretty bright at the moment there in the background. What we got. Is this one going to be better? Nope, that one's worse. One moment. We'll go like this because it's just the bars annoying me. It looks like I could just hang off it. Now I go like that, and all of a sudden I'm doing some chin-ups, which isn't really the ideal situation because chin-ups are difficult for myself. And I mean, chin-ups, it's one of those ones. Once you get the technique down, you can do many, many of them in a row. Until you got that technique, you pretty much just have to make a complete embarrassment of yourself for quite a while. And also, let's go Drua, says Jubbies there in the chat. And yeah, the Fijian Drua, they're certainly going to be an exciting side to watch out for in this Super Rugby season. They've got power, they've got pace, they've got precision, and they've got that offload and that heart that just keeps on building them and taking them to the next level time after time as well. I'm actually going to switch the one that is behind me to just a random stadium, I think, just because this one is slightly annoying me. We'll go back to Orange Theory for this one. I could have gone to HBF Park. We'll go with this one just for now, seeing as we were just there for the Crusaders game. So we'll go with that one, seeing as it doesn't have the bar of them here. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who will be winning this match between the two sides. I feel like first try scorer of this match, Habosi for Fijian Drua is my pick. And then for the Reds, I will actually go with Josh Fluke. I'll go with the men on the left wing. Someone is getting, I think I picked the Reds for this one. Says Norman, probably a strong pick for this game, as they are heavily favourites. Like, this will be a bigger upset than the Crusaders losing to the Chiefs. That tells you how much of an underdog the Fijian Drua are, but they don't mind being the underdog. They will go, right, all right, we'll just prove that we shouldn't have been the underdog, and this damn wind, I hate it. Says Betty Wagon there, so I assume it's quite windy up there in Palmerston North. I always find it weird how see-through that badge becomes on my arm there, and 39-12 is Betty Wagon's prediction for this game. We will look through at a few of the other stats that we have got coming up for this matchup, including also looking at what is happening next week. The Fijian Drua, they will be going on to face the Western Force. That will be a 4:35 p.m. game, and it is on the Saturday. Then the Reds, they've got the Brumbies in that Super Rugby AU rematch for Friday night. Going to be a great one, and we will be covering that on the channel also. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've also got the Six Nations next week that we will be covering, plus a little bit later on tonight. But the games next week, these are the ones that are going to be following this live stream. Plus, maybe, I mean, we've got a game up against Munster and the Bulls, which we might be covering on the channel instead of Italy taking on Scotland. But currently only sitting about 8 minutes away from kickoff. Hopefully they are on time. Normally they're about 5 minutes behind for those Australian matches. So it's more likely going to be around that 13 minutes or so. But as soon as the game goes live, we're going to continue our commentary. And also we've got there Tokotahi. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Welcome into Livestream I and to the Reds. Says Paddy for this matchup. But for me as well, Jordan Patara at 15 is going to be a big challenge for him. He's used to playing either in the centres or out on the wing. So I'm wondering what has happened to their number 15. Who was playing number 15 last week? I think it was actually Jock Campbell. So they have decided to switch him, or Josh Fluke. It was one of the two, Josh or Jock, who were playing fullback for last week's game. They still don't have the sign of Filippo Dalgunu. Also still missing Vunivalu, who hasn't had his first run of the season as of yet. I believe that is due to injury. That's why both of them are not going to be there for this game. Also out with injury, it was Daniela Tupou a little while ago, but that man has recovered pretty quickly, and he is back into the starting lineup alongside also returning back into this lineup. It is going to be Kalani Thomas. That is for Tate McDermott, who is out with injury, and hopefully I'm getting better as this is not. I hope so too. So you can so that you can feel a little bit better and probably get a little bit of your energy back, because you just feel drained all the time, won't you? I assume. But now we are just going to go like this and go like this. I am just moving them around a little bit so that we can have the game in the middle of the two lineups. There we go. And now we are just waiting for this game to get underway. But the Fijian Drua currently, like I mentioned, if they win this game, they move into the top 8 and will be pushing their way very nicely towards, who knows, maybe they get into the quarterfinals. All you need once you're at the quarterfinals is 3 big games, like I mentioned. And once you get that, you're good to go. And it will be all down to the wire in terms of who will be able to make the most of that opportunity to be able to make their way through to the Super Rugby final. Currently, I believe the New Zealand sides, the Chiefs, the Blues, Crusaders, and Hurricanes are all front runners for being able to make it through to the top 8. The Reds and the Brumbies are also backed for Australia, but you got 2 more spots, whether that is going to be the Western Force, Moana Pacifica, Fijian Drua, also maybe someone like the Waratahs can have a standout season like they all are already having, and we need to send Hamish a Drua jersey so that they can flog the Aussie teams, says Sebastian. Maybe it is the case. And also, I'm back. This is going to be a cracker of a game, says Daniel Cox. It certainly is going to be. And there are plenty of talented players out there on the field, not just for the Fijian Drua, but also for the Reds in this game. They have got plenty of Wallabies in contention. And the big question is, who will stand up for the Reds in this game at Suncorp? We know how dangerous they are. We know how well their record is kind of intact at Suncorp, whether it's the Reds or it is the Wallabies. They have both got very strong records there, but anything can happen up against the Fijian Drua. If they really piece it together as quickly as they did in their last game up against the Rebels, I have a feeling they could score themselves a few extra points in this game. Unlucky Crusaders, as I said, Dwayne there, and you're just missing out by a few points. And in that game, I'm quickly going to blow my nose because hay fever sucks as well, but then we will be back in a very short. There we go. All sorted. Love hay fever. I feel like that's the thing. The first thing that I want is going to be some sort of hay fever sponsor, I think, or something along those lines, just so that we can sort out the hay fever and you guys can see it actually working. As it will be a good one, but they are just showing the big hits that the Reds can put on. Hunter by Sami in that midfield, going to be a dangerous player because he just loves whacking people. I guess that's the best way of putting it. And then also alongside him in that backline who can put in a big hit, it's probably someone like a Jordan Patai, but he can also outrun opponents very quickly, and defense draw wins games. I think it says Berserk exactly right. If the Fijian Drua can keep the Reds scoreless in this first half or tryless in this first half, that is their best bet. If they don't keep them tryless, that's when the trouble starts to set in. When Fijian Drua, they are on the back foot, that is probably when we start to see a few more mistakes being made by the Drua. But if they can manage to somehow avoid getting on the back foot, that is when they are the most dangerous and when they can get those crazy attacks going that the Fijian Drua know and love. And who thinks going to score the first try says Daniel Cox. I think it's going to be a left winger, so either Habosi or Jordan Fluke. That's not his name. It's Josh Fluke. But one of those two. But anyone who does want to help out the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, this is a link to the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, and that is going to be the channel where we have our NRL content, also our football content in the future. A whole heap of options. Agarwal just been run out, and India's game up against Sri Lanka. That's not the wicket that they would have wanted to lose early on, but I will give you guys an update on Pakistan versus Australia as we currently sit also while we are waiting for this next game to get underway. But do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to be able to get themselves a win in this matchup? I have a feeling it's going to be a 50-point contest or so. I think we're going to get to see a lot of tries throughout the two sides. It's just a question of will it be the Reds who get more of them, or will it be FIJIAN DRUA who can hang in there for as long as possible? Australia currently sitting 157 for 2 for their game up against Pakistan, for anyone curious about that. And was mentioned that Marnus Labuschagne got himself a run out on 0, which is something that he certainly isn't used to. He had faced 9 balls at the time, but it was a good throw from Khan to be able to run him out. We have got there go the Fiji lads. Says 3 Ron in there. So I assume we've got a lot of Fijian supporters in this one. And Usman Khawaja is having a day out again in Pakistan. What an awesome player. Yeah, currently sitting on 81 of 124. And also alongside him, Smith sitting on 34 off 70. But he just seems to be able to adapt to conditions so quickly, Usman Khawaja. And also, I mean, he might have 100 just around the corner. He did miss out on his last one, got 97, I believe it was. Then ended up just missing out. They're showing a couple of the highlights from last week for the Reds up against the Western Force. They've got plenty of pace, and it's actually the wingers that they love targeting. Josh Fluke, Jock Campbell, and then also Jordan Patai and the Fijian Drua. 15-0 over the Reds, says Brennan. Tell you what, if that happened, everyone would just be speechless for it. But who knows? Rugby is a beautiful game. 80 minutes where the Reds would definitely have to be asleep for that to happen, because normally they do get themselves at least some form of points on the board. But if that was the case, Fijian Drua, they would be absolutely loving that one. That is your job. But then again, the Crawley route partnership brings tears of joy to me eyes. Says Sebastian, and hey, says Brandon, welcome in. And Chiefs Mana 1. And Yahoo says Rio Gamer. And yeah, it was absolutely phenomenally done by the Chiefs. 2 last-minute tries, 75th minute, 80th minute, and they were able to tick themselves over the line and get themselves the massive try. But Baden Kerr, believe he's going to be such an important factor for them. And also the man who is there at number 15 for them, or that is who's at number 15, but Tititella, who is there at 10 for this game, he's also going to be key, because if that back line is working together for the Drua, then it is just going to be moving very nicely forward for them. And big up the Chiefs. Love their commitment. Says Sebastian, and just subscribe to your sports channel, says Daniel Cox. So thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate it. And we did our first couple live streams on that sport channel in the past. I think it was like 100 days that we hadn't done a live stream or anything. And we did 2 in one day, and we got plenty more coming on that sports channel also. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. On that question for you, Amish, what is your favorite pets? I would say my favorite pet is my cat, because he is the only pet that I've ever had. So other than like a pet lamb, we've had a couple pet lambs, which are quite fun. And I did actually teach my pet lamb how to play football. So that was pretty exciting as well. He's like dribbling through cones and all sorts. And now I think he went out to the farm, which isn't like that isn't like an analogy for anything. He's just out on the farm. I love the shirt, man, says Jabez there. Yeah, from Canterbury, wearing the Chiefs kit. And this kit at the moment has a 90% success winning rate when I wear it for the Chiefs. They've probably won about 9 of the 10 games I've worn it for. And that's an insane stat for the Chiefs. But don't know, I might have to start not wearing it depending on how it goes, depending on how high up they go. Although if they're through to the final, as you guys know, once it gets to the big match field, we normally wear a suit. So maybe I have to wear it underneath just to give the Chiefs a little bit of extra mana. But currently, close to the kickoff, we're sitting at 45 minutes past 9 or quarter to 10, if you do like, and we are still waiting for the teams to make their way back out onto the field. They always are late in Australia. I don't know what it is. They say 9:45 is the start time. Then they go, you know what, we'll just start at 9:50. No one's watching. I just go a little bit later, see how it goes. And also, so that's why they lost to the Blues as well, says Falcon. Could have been. I didn't wear it for that game, which was probably a bit of a mistake, and some Blues supporters wouldn't have liked it too much. And no way you taught your lamb how to dribble at football between Cones and said Sebastian. He was pretty good. Like, yes, the Cones at times they get a little bit wonky, but I've got videos somewhere. Maybe that can go into the old Kiwi lads reaction. But yeah, he was quite good. He was like, it just kind of do that headbutt it. It was more of the case of placing the Cones in a position where he didn't realize he was dribbling through them, but it just kind of go back and forth, smack it around a little bit. He'd also do a back heel with the ball and put the hoof on it and roll it backwards. I feel like you guys don't believe me, but there is a video of him doing such a thing. And also, I'm looking for a video coming up on more Brandon, and there's Brandon for that one as well. I wonder if I can find that video. It's probably going to be a tricky one to find with the amount of stuff that I got on my hard drive. It might have to be another one. And do you wear it against, or did you wear it against Crusaders CJBs? I did indeed, which is, of course, why some of the Crusaders supporters probably don't like me too much at the moment, because I'm from Canterbury, but I wore the Chiefs kit and the Chiefs won, so I was wearing it at the end of the match. It's like one guy who did end up saying, your team's going to lose. And I said, I'm from Canterbury, though. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was the right statement in the end. But the Drua up against the Reds, surely we're close to this game getting underway. They're taking a little bit of extra time, but that just means we can go through the lineups one more time. The Reds for this match, Hoffert, Nassar, and Taniela Tupou as the front row. Ryan Smith and Angus Blythe as 4-5, and then Sururu, Fraser McWright, and Harry Wilson as a loose forward trio. Kalani Thomas at 9, James O'Connor at 10, Hamish Stewart, Hunter Paisami, Josh Fluke, Jock Campbell, and then Jordan Bataya slotting in there at number 15. Then looking through at the Fijian Drua, it will be Ulia Kepa Dolakoto and also Tawake as the front row. Now, Sila and Roitui Cilia, going to be there at number 5. Diralangi, Mira, and Chirika Davita making up the loose forward trio. Then at the back line, Matawalu, Tela, Ravovo, then Avoita Ravu Taumara, whose name I always mispronounce, Habosi, and Baden Kerr slotting in at fullback for this game. And these are the two benches that the two sides are gone with. Well done, Chiefs, as well. And also, do you watch the breakdown? I don't normally, but I probably should a little bit more. Are you not subscribed to more, Brandon? I think I am subscribed. I think you did ask about it for a while. I believe you may. It's just unexpected, that's all. And this is Sebastian, and taking the Reds by 13 plus, says Daniel, for this matchup. And also, let's go the Fijian Drua, says Lax Axel. So get him behind the Fijian boys for this game. If they win it, it would be the biggest upset of Super Rugby so far. And you have to argue second biggest would be Reds versus Chiefs, Chiefs versus Crusaders from just before. That was a huge upset, but this is the way that the table is sitting currently. The Brumbies at the top of the bunch, 4 from 4 with 2 bonus point wins. The Crusaders and get themselves the bonus point for being within 7. We do see the Fijian Drua supporters singing outside of the stadium, getting ready to go for this matchup. The Reds in third. If they win this game, they have got a chance of being able to almost catch up with the Brumbies in points, depending on the scoreline. The Chiefs, with that victory over the Crusaders, move themselves up to 4th, just behind the Blues, who have got a points differential of 2 better. The Hurricanes sitting there in 6th. Waratahs and Western Force are the other two sides in the top 8, but the Drua just outside. Anything is possible. Let's go Fijian Drua, and come on, Drua, says Uppy there in the chat. But do make sure, anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be back for every single game of the Fijian Drua this season for Super Rugby. Also, every single Super Rugby Pacific game is going to be on the channel. I'm looking now. You're not subscribed as well, says Brandon, although that will be because I haven't got my subscription set to public. So pretty much I am subscribed, but you can't see it, because if I had it set to public, you'd be able to see my name in that list. But because I haven't got it set to that, you cannot. And also, House Crusaders come in second, says Jabez. They've done very well in their first couple of games. They had their game up against Moana Pacifica. They beat the Highlanders as well, and then they did have their victory over the Hurricanes. Was that the other team that they ended up playing? No, I'm forgetting one of the New Zealand teams, I think. Who else do they play? Can you actually see exactly who's subscribed to your channel? I don't think you could, only if they've got their subscription set to kind of public type thing. And did they lose a game, says Jabez. And that one. So pretty much, if you've got it set to public, you can see the list of like recent subscribers, if that makes sense, in your YouTube studio. So my recent subscribers are Cardman22. is the most recent activity, or kind of recent in terms of subscriber size. Cricket for Us 2.0 also in there. I'm going to see who the latest subscriber was based off date subscribed. It was 11NZ. 11NZ, that was my last one that we have got that was set to public and at that one as well. But yeah, it's kind of cool that you can look through that list, but only if they've got their subscription set to public. And also, can you see, tell me what, as on there says Brandon, also we have got there, did they lose a game, says Jabez? They did just lose their game up against the Chiefs. That is their only game that they have lost. So this game's going to be a 9:55 kickoff. By the looks of it, they are very late starting up this one. And also go Fiji, go, says Marika in the chat there. And how's the Crusaders coming second? But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see who finishes in that top 8. And tell me, can you go to 365 days? As I says, Brandon, there, although there would be quite a few to go through, seeing as there are now quite a few thousand into that list. But now the FIJIAN Drua and the Reds, they are ready to go for this match. I'm looking straight at that man in the middle, Tongan Thor, Daniela Tupou. He certainly stands out in a crowd, that is for sure. The FIJIAN Drua, the captain here, Mira and Deria Langi, and also Charika Davita all there. And Cricket for Us, it's a good bloke. He would make a great cricket collaboration someday if you considered it. Says Sebastian, he was actually on the live stream yesterday or earlier today, and I remembered that he sent me that email. I don't actually check emails on the Kiwi Lads email, unfortunately. So I said about the fact that I will get back to him in the near future, and he said no worries. And also, hopefully we do get some sort of collaboration going with him in the near future. And also, I subscribed ever since you commentate Fiji Olympic game, says Jabi. So that is a little while, of course, but it is great to have you here ever since. So that would have been Fiji Drua at the, or sorry, not Fiji Drua, Fiji Sevens at the Tokyo Olympics it would have been. And a go Drua go says, I see you there. And also that Riki jersey, and it says Te Riki. Another chat, and also we have got there against the Chiefs, says Nov Mum for that one. But Taniela Tupou, Harry Wilson, he's also a very good player to have in the Reds lineup. We're listening to Thunderstruck here at the Suncorp Stadium. Yeah, he was on the Wales versus France stream. As I said, Sebastian, that would have been what one it was, wasn't it? But yeah, I'll have to send an email back. I'm terrible at replying to emails, I've learned. Like even like anything, any social media, like whether it's Messenger, Snapchat, anything like that, I'm terrible with replying. Even Discord I need to improve on a little bit. And Tosa FIJIAN Drua for the win. Let's go, says Iceman. Yeah, and Jordan Pataya currently getting his first start at fullback for this matchup. We are ready to go for this game almost. Although first, I believe we have got the Fijians. No, they aren't going to be doing a haka or anything along those lines. So they will be making their way off the field now. And we are ready to go. A couple young players such as Kalani Thomas, big opportunity for him. The FIJIAN Drua, they will be kicking off this one from right to left in this matchup. And it is going to be Tetitela who does get us underway for this game. Reds versus FIJIAN Drua, round 4 of Super Rugby Pacific, the second Australian game that we are seeing. And James O'Connor kicks it downfield into touch. And Tetitela, I got this for the Drua, says Jabez. Yeah, with Caleb Muntz out of there, it does mean there's another opportunity. I have the same problem. I've never been too social, but I'm working on it, says Sebastian. I think it's just also, like, I look at the message and then I forget that I looked at the message type thing. So, like, I'll look at one and be like, right, I'm going to reply to that in, like, 15 minutes and then completely forget about an unsubscribe and Super Rugby out there. Oh, as well, says Brandon there. Now driving their way for the FIJIAN Drua. I've got their hands on the ball. Matawalu now offloading it back. Nice set play opening up here for the FIJIAN Drua. First receiver, Ravuvu. I'm liking the fact that we're slowly learning quite a few of the FIJIAN Drua players. I didn't learn too many at the start of the season, but now they are starting to roll a bit nicer off the tongue. Teller now stepping in the midfield. There's going to be Vote at number 13. Matawalu, bit of a counter ruck there from the Reds. Dolokoto driven sideways. Oh, did he drop it? I think he might have. It was a little knock on. A Reds to score first via penalty as well, says Daniel there. And also Thor and the Murray sidestep. Says Teariki there, and Tongan Thor, he's an absolute beast of an individual when he's out on that field. Same with a majority of these FIJIAN Drua players, though, but it was Misulami Dolokoto just ended up putting down that one. To get it a little bit wrong, we will go like that, and we will go like that as well. Just move them to, whoopsies, what happened there? Something just happened. We'll go like that. There we go. Almost broke it, but we are all good. I'll just move in the lineup so that I can make sure that I am pronouncing these correctly. I know that this name, Ravu Taumara, is the one that I really cannot say to save myself at the moment, unfortunately. And also I try my friend because I want to do a video as well. Here's Brandon there. But now the scrum feed, total scrums last week against the Western Force, they did have a very good success rate. And be sure to hit that subscribe and like button to the channel and check out the Kiwi Sport channel. And pin comment and enjoy your time on the streams. Cheers, says Sebastian. Very good promo right there. Or very good ad read, I guess you could say, for that one. That's going to be the advantage now to the Reds at scrum time. Did end up going up in the front row backline movement. Hamish Stewart on the outside to Hunter by Sami, shunting off Teller. And now he's being dragged down and a good tackle by Ravuvu. Now Kalani Thomas back across to Harry Wilson. O'Connor off to Taniela. Tupou sells the big dummy, looking for the offload, decides to hold on to it just with the one hand as well. Very impressive skill set from the big man. Subscribe to the Kiwi Lads Gaming as well. That is another channel that we have got that I do need to get back up and running, but currently 0-0 between these two sides. Only 2 minutes into this match now. And now firing it back, Taniela. Tupou, flat ball off to it is Angus Blythe. He's just been wrestled down. In fact, it's Ryan Smith. Now only 5 meters out from the line for the Reds. Kalani Thomas looking to the right-hand side. Hunter by Sami tries to break through, but it's a great tackle from Vota to be able to stop the momentum of the Reds, but they're up to 7 phases and they are right where they want to be. Fraser McRae driven backwards and a brilliant tackle there, and the ball's bounced out the side. It's an advantage to the Fijian Drua. The ball sits up and it's going to be a foot race here for the Fijian Drua. How much stamina does he have left in the tank? Isn't enough? His legs are going to give out on him. 5 meters out from the line, 85 meters carried there, and the Reds have stolen it back. And now from the other side of the field, they are going to be going for their counter attack. And that's a penalty to the Reds for not rolling away or not releasing. And also, he can run. He sure can. Ball bounces out the side, I believe. Was it Habossi? No, it was Ravovo who picked up that one, but his legs just didn't quite go. He kept on looking over his shoulder and just ran out of gas. There was 1,000 IQ, says Lax Axel. Also, exactly. Make sure to check out the gaming channel. And there says Sebastian and Flying Fiji, exactly right. And that is what to expect every single time we see the Fijian Drua in action, no matter where they are playing, no matter who they are playing. They are going to be right in there, and they are going to be working extremely hard to try and get themselves over the try line. It was very close for them as well. And now it's going to be an important throw in for Josh Nasser, who is starting. That is over. Who's normally the number 2 for the Reds that I can't think of currently? Is it Alex Murphy? He must be coming off the bench instead and tries, says Brandon. And that one, James O'Connor passes it back across Hunter by Sami, the drawing pass. Now it's going to be Jordan Pattaya trying to link up, backs his pace, going down the wing, and he scores the try there. And that is just counter-attacking rugby at its finest. Fijian magic, says Jabez. And now Jordan Pattaya scores the opening try of the match for the Reds. What a game start we have had here, ladies and gentlemen. But the Reds, their try scorers, I feel like this list is also going to be quite long for this one, but it is Jordan Pattaya who goes down the wing and manages to score himself the try there. And the number 15 jersey, 4 minutes into this game, we've already had 1 try and maybe many to come, but we've probably had about 200 running meters in this game so far, which is absolutely insane for it. But Jordan Pattaya, I have to type that out again because it does decide it doesn't really like me too much, but try scorers, Jordan Pattaya does go down the wing, beats Spade and Kerr in the fullback jersey and does manage to score the try for the Reds. We will go like that, and we will go like that as try time Flying Fiji and Obu as there, says Sebastian for that one. And also the try from Brandon for that one. Like they're saying, it wasn't very easy for Jordan Pattaya. He had to go right down the wing, but was able to just sneak his way over the try line. Come on, Fiji. And there says Jabez, they're going to have to fire back in this one relatively quickly if they do want a chance of getting closer in this game. But Jordan Pattaya scores his first try of the night. Tosso Viti, or Tosso Drua as well, says Tui there in the chat. And I mean, they were so close to scoring down the other end of the field. So that will give them confidence going into this game and also the later stages of this first half. And also we have got the Hamish try from a set piece. Says MH Troy. Was a very nice one out to the side for James O'Connor there. And Lol, clearly they've always been influenced by Kiwi or Fijians. And that one says David Lim. Well, that one, I mean, it's a tricky one, though, because, of course, the Reds, they're a very strong side, but we might see an upset. Maybe after that game between the Crusaders and the Chiefs, everyone's going, hang on, maybe we need to relook at these odds. I believe Fiji Drua to win this game, we're paying about $16, probably paying even more now. And also Tosso Drua, and says Sebastian, but yeah, it was a relatively close to a set piece anyway. And they just pretty much went right from the other end of the field. And we've already had about 250 running meters throughout this game, and we've only been going for 6 minutes. Big hit there from the captain. And Hunter by Sami smacked in the ribcage by Deralangi. On the other side now for Ryan Smith. Kalani Thomas looking for the link-up pass. Does fire back into the pocket to James O'Connor. And also I have a question for you, Hamish Mum. Into there as well, says Brandon. I mean, I can ask her tomorrow, because she is already in bed at this stage. Baden Kerr puts the ball up high and trying to counter with this one. You wonder how much gas is left in the legs of Ravovo. That was a brilliant hit from him, though, right on James O'Connor. Now Josh Fluke wrestled down to the chalk. Currently 25 metres out for the line. It's going to be beautifully stolen there by Mira. Mira now looking to the short side, finds the offload to Matawalu. Trying to pierce his way through. Another offload from the Fijian Drua, and that is something that they do phenomenal and show some big hits, Fiji, and that is certainly what they just did. Big run forward now from Rasila Sila. Available for them. Reds player to get out of that breakdown just in time. Tella passing it back across Baden Kerr now. Over to the hands of Chirika Davida, the big man who plays for Tasman in the Bunnings NPC. It's a penalty to the Fijian Drua here. And Toso Drua, and that one from, it is Viniana. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I do appreciate you being here. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more content coming in the future for the Fijian Drua and the Reds. And question for you, Hamish, what is your favourite Hamish video? And there for my mama. We'll ask her in the future. Probably, I mean, I know that it sounds not really vain, but I feel like it would probably be one that she's in as well, just because of the fact that we do get to hang out and smash the Tongan Thor. Says your bees, and tell you what, if you smash Tongan Thor, you're certainly feeling it for about 4 weeks after. That man is a beast. He's a ball of muscle. But the Fijian Drua side, a few of them are built like a brick wall, and they won't be going too far too quickly either. But now Tititela going to be lining up this kick. 8 minutes into this game, McBurn decided that they do want to go for the 3-pointer here rather than the 7, just to get them a little bit closer back into this game. After only 8.5 minutes, anything is certainly possible. But now Tititela lining up this one, 2022, getting 5 out of 6 with an accuracy of 83%. Lining it up. Strikes the ball very nicely as well. No matter where he kicks it from, does seem to get plenty of distance on it. He strikes that one just over. And it is going to be now 3 points for them. That's fair. I mean, George's favourite video, certainly one that he is in as well. Says Sebastian. It sure is. It's probably one that he is in more than me. It's Pacific Island Rugby, my man. Says Chubbies, that is true. I go draw, says Richard Singh. And that is why I feel like FIJIAN DRUA were the perfect addition to Super Rugby, because they just bring that power, that pace, that elusive style that everyone associates with Super Rugby. Same with Moana Pacifica. It's the best of the Bunnings NPC. And didn't get Super Rugby contract going short there for the Reds. And they have been able to retain the ball. Very nicely done. Now Kalani Thomas across to O'Connor. Linking up in the midfield here. It is going to be Jock Campbell alongside big Siru Uru. It's been wrestled down to the ground. I believe they're missing another player in the loose forward trio. I can't quite think of off the top of my head now. Kalani Thomas now trying to pierce his way through. Is it Liam Wright that they are missing out there for this game? Well, I think he is going to be coming off the bench perhaps later on. And this game now trying to break his way through. It's a good run forward from Hamish Stewart. Good leg drive to Australian Fiji teams. Play the New Zealand teams. They do indeed, but they only play them once. Other than the FIJIAN DRUA side, they will play Moana Pacifica twice for that one. And also go Drua, says Richard Singh, for that one. But pretty much the first game that we get to see a Trans-Tasman connection game. One moment, I will go here. I believe it's in about a month or two, though. Still a little while off, but that's a good kick in behind from the Reds, trying to put the pressure in the territory game, trying to really incorporate it. And now from about 22 metres out, it is actually going to be the opportunity for the Reds to have this line out in the form of Josh Nasser, I should say. One moment, we will go here. And we will go here. Super Rugby. When is the first round that we get to see two sides from different areas in action? I believe it is somewhere way down the line, though. Okay, round 10, I believe it is, that we do get to see it. So round 10 will be the first time we see Trans-Tasman connection. So it is 40 days' time till we get to see it. That is going to be the penalty to the FIJIAN DRUA there. Okay, legal clean out there. And as FIJIAN DRUA playing against the Moana Pacifica, they are indeed. They actually have 2 games up against them in the future. And home advantage for England might be close against Ireland. Yeah, and that's going to be an absolutely sensational game. We will be covering that on the channel as well at 5:45 a.m. Is that because of COVID cases or borders? And borders, a little bit of both, I believe it is. They just decided to do all of the derbies while they have the chance, and then they will go overseas and kind of exchange in the different places. But I'm going to see when the first game up against Moana Pacifica is for FIJIAN DRUA, because that game's going to be an absolutely just try-scoring fest of a matchup. So their first game against the New Zealand side is up against the Blues, but their first game up against Moana Pacifica is on the 14th of May, and I believe that might actually be the only game that they've got. They were originally going to have 2 derbies, but I assume because of cancellations and whatnot, does mean that it's a little bit trickier. But now around the side, it's going to be Habosi, 23rd of April, and 14th of May, the Drua versus Pacifica. Also, I think I missed that one that was on April. So it's not actually that far away. Taken nicely now by Jock Campbell. Kicks it back down the middle of the field. Good distance on that one. It's gone over the top of the Fijian Drua defender. Taken nice by Teller now. And we'll be looking for the touchline. Puts in the big kick. Does it find touch? It does bounce almost into touch, but Jordan Pataia keeps it in the field of play. Actually going out on that wing by the looks of it, even though he is supposed to be fullback. And Lucko boys in there. Says Coops and now Sarah Uru trying to go for the draw and pass. Doesn't quite find the offload. Instead takes contact to ground. And it's another penalty to the drawer on the ground. And FBI says Brandon there. But it's once again in from the side. I believe it wasn't Sarah Uru, but it was instead Liam Wright, I believe. Oh, sorry, Fraser McWright, who did get penalised for that one. Saruri went to ground. It was a good run from the big man out on the wing. Taken down low by Ravovo. And then in from the side. Yeah, straight in from the side there. Fraser McWright in front of the touchy as well. You're never going to get away with that one, I wouldn't think. And because of it now, it means that the Fijian Drua get themselves another penalty. Work themselves up the field a little bit further. If they score a next try in this match, it will certainly be a close game between these two sides. I'm going to check the odds as we currently sit because I know that the Fijian Drua were supposed to be huge underdogs, about $16 to the Reds. But now, how are they sitting currently? That's going to be almost knocked on, but they've been able to hang on to it quite nicely there. For it was Rasila Sila making his way forward. Right, the Six Nations is not the one that we're after. That is a little bit later on tonight. Of course, the penalty now to the Fijian Drua for the player not rolling away. I think he's still stuck in that breakdown. He is getting picked up. I think it's Ryan Smith. No, instead, it is Angus Blythe who just wasn't quite able to get out of there. I'm looking forward to this role in my two-way career. See, here's Brandon there. So the Fijian Drua to win this game is paying $9 compared to the Reds who are paying $1.03. For Fijian Drua to win this game by 1 to 12 is paying $11. And for the Fijian Drua to win this game by 13 or more is paying $26 as we currently sit. Now, 14 minutes into this game, it's probably a test of stamina for the Fijian Drua. We know how deep they dug up against the Rebels, although the Reds will probably push them at a quicker pace than that game. So they're certainly going to have to make sure that the stamina is good for this one. Now, making their way forward, and also you're probably looking on Tribe. I was looking on SofaScore. Most likely Tribe knows more about Super Rugby than this Northern Hemisphere flock of an app, says Sebastian for that one. So yeah, who knows? Maybe a couple of the games that were going to be taking place, maybe they've shortened it so that they can fit in those other games that we're going to be squeezing in at the end due to postponements. But it was the rolling maul attempt there for the Fijian Drua. And in the end, they did just get forced into touch for Chirika Davita, running out of space. And now it is the line-out throw for the Reds. Josh Nasser, 10 metres out. Goes into Ryan Smith. Kalani Thomas off to Wilson now. Tries to straighten 15 metres out from their own line here. And Kalani Thomas firing it back into the pocket. And it will now be James O'Connor who kicks that one for touch. Didn't get a huge amount of meterage on it, but made sure that it did go out. You don't want any chance of the Fijian Drua taking a quick throw, or else they certainly will. And they will cause you quite a headache in the way that they run back at you. Definitely if you give them any sort of space. More than 2 metres is too many metres to try and tackle a Fijian from if you don't want a concussion. Just a bit of a heads up there for them. But now it's going to be a Dolakoto will be lining up this line-out throw here for the Fijian Drua. And hello, says my name is Pros. Welcome into Livestream, mate. Hope you're doing well. Thrown in, stolen there by the Reds. Kalani Thomas fires it back down. This time it was Josh Fluke with the wide cutout pass off to Jordan Pataia. Out to Baisami. Man on the outside, and Jock Campbell, if he needs him, goes inside instead to Fraser McWright. Wasn't quite able to find that offload he was after, but up to the halfway line now for the Reds. O'Connor now flinging it back across. It is going to be now to Jock Campbell. Trying to go straight through. In fact, that was Josh Fluke. And a big tackle there on Ryan Smith. Now, short side, Siruru, the link-up ball on the inside. Nicely done to Ryan Smith. He's got James O'Connor with him. Never saw him, though. And that would have been a big moment. It's a knock-on against them. And did you see the idea of to put South Africa in the Six Nations seems dumb? And also there should be a playoff with Italy in the next best European side like Georgia, says Beach Smitty. Yeah, because that's the thing. If they did end up joining the Six Nations, South Africa, I don't think they would ever, like someone mentioned it as well, they won't have an off-season pretty much. Like they'll be playing in the Six Nations, and they're straight into the Rugby Championship as well, which is taking place in July. And no, says a Brandon there for that one as well. But just a little knock on from Ryan Smith and Siruru, just everyone. So they want to put that one a little bit forward. He's got cut on the nose, the bridge of the nose. That's never fun because then the blood always, like you can just see it. Like when you get a cut like there, you can just look at it and you can see it the whole time. And you think, yep, that's still bleeding. Should probably do something about that. It's the first time I've gone cross-eyed in like 7 years. I've just realized, like, normally, like, back at school, it was like, can you cross your eyes? And you try it. I haven't done it since then, though. Also can't roll my eyes backwards. Just doesn't quite work out for me. at the moment. Roy Tui Solia, currently, I mean, he put in the big hit there on Angus Blythe, right around the shoulders. And if you rotate Rugby Challenge sides into the Six Nations, that would be fun, says B. Smithy. Or maybe, like, I mean, I guess that's kind of like what we get to see for November internationals, how you do get to see the rotation of everyone playing everyone almost for that one. And I think this year they are going to do a similar situation. Also, we have got the Te Tawai or Te Tafi. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Do let me know if I have got that wrong, though, and I will try my best to correct it. But currently, the Fijian Drua, they're bringing that physicality. The Reds knew they'd be in a battle here. Hunter by Sami in the midfield. Him and Vota will be running straight at each other. And also, we have got their Joe Root has gone cross-eyed 3 times during the Ashes. There's a bastion for that one. Only 3. Is that including the time he got hit in the nets or without that one? Because I feel like that is what we are referring to, isn't it? Because he just kept on getting smacked in the box. No matter what. It's as if the ball had a magnet in it, and his box was the magnet master that I just wanted to keep on hitting into. But 17 minutes into this game, and Need Live says Filiomi or Filimoni. What country are you in, Filimoni? Do let me know, because depending on where you are will depend on where you can watch this game. Some of them, the unfortunate thing is I don't think they've got any options for free, sadly. It is all subscription-based. But if you've got Sky Pacific, you'll be able to watch this game live for free. Or not for free, sorry, but live. And also Sanzar.tv is another option that you've got. But the highlights of this game will be on the All Blacks YouTube channel and also Super Rugby YouTube channel after this game. I'm question for you, Hamish. What is your favourite rugby game in 2019? 2019, that's a good question. Was that the year 2019? Geez, that's a little while ago, isn't it? And double box for the win, says B. Schmitty in that one. I'm trying to think of a game from 2019. I guess it would have been one of the World Cup games. I mean, South Africa versus England in the final was always going to be a classic one. And also us against South Africa, anytime we play them, anytime we play Australia, it's just an awesome occasion. That one, but that's going to be the scrum reset. Currently a little bit too much movement there from Fraser McRoy. He is actually the skipper for this game. That is due to the injury of Tate McDermott. Right, so that ball came out the side, and because of it, it was just a little bit too much movement. He's going to be another scrum feed for the Fijian Drua, but currently still right in this game. Only 2 points behind here. And as long as they keep on building themselves up like they are here, I would say at halftime, if they're less than 7 behind, they're still in this game. If they've got a lead, they're certainly in it. But Taniela Tupou, they'll be waiting for him to go off the field. Probably same with Harry Wilson, because those two are probably the most dangerous ones. And yeah, Bledisloe Cup or Rugby World Cup final. And there's Sebastian for that one as well. 2019 seems so far ago, doesn't it? Or so long ago, I guess you could say. The world was a lot simpler back then in terms of there was no such thing as the pandemic or anything. Sururu gets straight over the ball and does end up getting the penalty. Taking the quick tab now. I don't think the ref saw it, though. So they are going to have to go back. So they weren't quite behind the mark. And now the penalty. They could take on the 3 points if they really want it. Or they could go for the corner. Another yawn. Don't know what's happening there. The yawns are coming thick and fast. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We were able to bring up the 10,000 subscribers on the last live stream, which is absolutely insane. 5 figures for the channel. But anyone who is new, also check out the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. That is a pinned comment there. We do the NRL over on there. Also a few games of football, a few other games of rugby. The cricket as well is another one that we have been slotting onto that channel as of late. And stuff, says Henry Samuel. Welcome into the live stream, mate. I'm going to bed. Obviously, your comments on the video as well, says Brandon there. We will see you later on. Thrown in nicely by Ryan Smith. 5 meters out. This is not looking too good. Oh, it's a penalty, though, to the Fijian Drua. Taking the quick tap as well. They see the space on the outside. The captain puts it onto his boot. And that is not what you normally see from a number 6 in Deria Langi. But now the Fijian Drua giving the ball back to the Reds. Hunter Paisami. Pressure on him. Broken tackle, though. And now the counter-attack coming from the Drua. Good tackle made by Ravovo, though. It looks like he might have hurt himself there. And the process, Kiwi Lads Gaming as well. Let's go Fijian Drua. And also all the best boys, me, Samu, and Filimoni. And there, as I says, Filimoni. All that one. But hopefully the Fijian Drua. Oh, it's a penalty against them, though. That one for not rolling away. And I believe it was against the Bossy who did get stuck underneath that breakdown. But this game's being played at a very fast game. And also, Ayo Amos was with the Chiefs jersey. It is the only jersey that I own for Super Rugby. And it was actually one sent to me by one of you guys. And anytime I wear it, the Chiefs now have a 90% winning rate when I wear it, and they just beat the Crusaders. And while you have the Chiefs shirt on, says Henry Samuel, I was thinking about it, and I was like, do I change my shirt because we're watching 2 other teams play? And I was like, I guess I can just leave it on, seeing as I don't really want to have to change the shirt every single time we go into a new one. So I decided to leave the Chiefs kit on, just seeing as it is Super Rugby based. as well. And also, it's got some very nice patterns on it and it's quite comfy, but it was a good wrestle on the ground. But Kalani Thomas just get the better of it. Now the line out throw for Josh Nasser, currently 19 minutes in. Oh, Rotui Soli is actually going off the field, and that is going to be for Tui Fagalili, I believe is the pronunciation. Also, yes. So is it also there? Let's go draw. Says Markey. That was a hard hit, but now Jordan Bataya trying to break through. Fraser McWright gets the offload. Great low tackle. Matey gets back up, goes again. Show the koala pick to jinx the Reds. In there, says Sebastian. I think that koala pick needs to be buried somewhere. We no one can find it. But now Hamish Stewart driving forward nicely, getting on the ball for the Fijian Drua, almost getting the turnover, but Kalani Thomas off to O'Connor, little grubber in behind. Baden-Kerr, perfect positioning. It was about 4-on-1, but he is right where he needs to be. It's a penalty there, though, to the Reds, and that is going to be for not releasing. So now only 5 minutes out, they will have the opportunity to possibly kick for the corner. Or go for the scrum. I think they'll go for the scrum here more than likely. And it was a big hit attempt on Jordan Patai, was able to break through. And the offload game from both of these sides has been sensational throughout the early stages. No one wants to go to ground because they know how dangerous the opposition are in the breakdown. They want to just keep this ball alive. But now 5 minutes out, Nassau once again will have this line out throw. 3 penalties against the Fijian Drua in the last 4 minutes or so. In fact, only 3 minutes. And you have to be careful with that heading into the later stages of this first half. But this game already a quarter of the way done. Going to go in nicely to Ryan Smith. Rolling more. Fraser McWright goes over. And I believe he did get it down, but they're going to be going upstairs to check this one. The Fijian Drua attempt from, I believe it was Habosi who tried to get straight underneath it. Right. What do we got? CMO. Okay. On field, no try. They feel it's been held up the whole time. I thought he was able to get it down, though, Fraser McWright, in first inspection from myself, although I didn't see it from the same angle as the referee, of course. But now what do we got here? Does get close. Close. Yeah, fair play. Oh, that's close to going down, though, there. And also, you can bury it on the moon if you want it. Still lives in the minds of us who have witnessed it. And yeah, it's still on that live stream as well, isn't it? Fraser McWright. Does he get it down? They need clear, conclusive evidence it was down. I think Matawalu's done just enough to stop that one from being a clear and obvious try. So I believe that one's going to be saved, and it will be held up, which means a goal line dropout now for the Fijian Drua. That's close there, though. That's very close. Like they're saying, you can't really give that without clear, conclusive evidence. So it's going to be the goal line dropout, and also we have got there no try guru as well. There says he made sure. Yeah, it does seem like okay, nothing clear to overturn your on-field decision. So it's going to be called as a no try held up. And it is going to be the goal line dropout. Brad Fawn a little bit disappointed with that one, but the Reds, they don't seem like they're too far off being able to get themselves possibly another try in this match after that first try of Jordan Bataya. But the goal line dropout, it will be either Teller or Baden-Kerr just has to kick this one as far as physically possible down the field. It's going to be now Teller. Does smash that one down towards the halfway line. 45 out now. James O'Connor claims it. Let's go, draw. Says Tesla for that one. Now stepping around the side. Harry Wilson tackled nicely. Fijian Drua trying to get the turnover. Unable to get it quick enough, though. Now by Sami on the outside. Cutout pass. Out to Fraser McWright. Got men with him. Decides against finding the offload. And now because of a Habosi, almost able to turn that one over. And what was the chat like when Kobe Bryant died as well, says Sam Henry. It's a good question. I can't actually really remember. I don't know whether or not we had a live stream within the couple days that it happened. So it probably only got mentioned 1 or 2 times. Good backline movement here. Hamish Stewart, sorry. Out wide. Out to Josh Fluke now 10 metres out from the line here. And it's Kalani Thomas back across to Paisami. Ball on the inside. Harry Wilson bumping off a couple men. Tries to put the ball down. He gets it as well, Harry Wilson. And that is another try for him. He scored about 3 so far in the Super Rugby season. And Harry Wilson scores it in the 22nd minute. And now Fijian Drua under a little bit more pressure here, but hopefully we can see the fight back relatively soon on the boys from Fiji. But Hunter Paisami went back to James O'Connor. Too many men lured in on the inside. And then it was a 2-on-1 on the outside. Good ball from Josh Fluke to take it to ground rather than going for the offload. And then Hunter Paisami alongside, I think it was Teti Tela, got bumped off by Harry Wilson, and Hey says, hello, welcome in the Livestream I. Hope you are doing well currently. Very good start to the match for the Reds. Although the FIJIAN Drua, they are right on as well. He did get the ball down with the turnover. And he was able to score there. Harry Wilson, the big man, probably the front runner for the number 8 for the Wallabies, you'd have to argue. But then also you have got Pete Samu and Rob Valentini both going for that spot on White Crusaders. Why says Izzy? And that one, it was a very close game, that is for sure. I might have had something to do with it due to the fact that the Chiefs don't normally lose when I wear this. So I probably need to get myself a Crusaders kit if they do want to make their way through to the final as well. But one attempted from James O'Connor. Did end up missing it originally, but this time has got it down the middle, and the score now 12 points to 3 for the Reds over the Drua. That'll be a confidence builder for Hunter Paisami and also for Harry Wilson, even though that man's confidence will be going through the roof. Currently just scoring back-to-back tries almost 3 weeks in a row. I believe the only other player to do something similar is Will Harris for the Waratahs. He's been sensational, and he will be playing tomorrow up against the Western Force. We will be covering that game, and that will be at 4 p.m. New Zealand time. I'll be back in the Blues next week. So here's Novman for that one. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting contest, that is for sure. Are we Saturday or Sunday today? We're a Saturday? We are Saturday. Yes, we are. I was confused for a second. Wasn't too sure what day of the week we were on. Now Siru takes it nicely. Tries to drive himself forward by a few extra meters on the 22. Currently, Harry Wilson off to Taniela Tupou, dragged down nicely by Miro, though. He's been able to deal with the Tongan Thor. James O'Connor picks up the box kick. It's going to be a tricky one to try and take. Oh, he's lined it up absolutely sensationally there for Jock Campbell. Keeping it on the side. I'll be back in the Blues next week, and that'll be up against the Crusaders. Penalty to the FIJIAN Drua, though. Try and take the quick tip. He has fallen over Hunter Paisami. He's staying down as well. I don't think the referee's feeling any sort of sympathy for Habossi there. And also, Hamish, what is your name? On try says LA. I think it's just my full name overall. But yeah, I don't know whether or not I should give it out. I know that some of you do know my full name from like following us on other social media platforms and whatnot. But I mean, it's not really anything too special, my tribe account. It's just literally like I have all of my ones that I do end up following, which is pretty much everything that is able to be selected. I've just got it all selected on try pretty much. He thought he might have gotten a little bit of a sympathy penalty there from the referee. I think the Reds players are just laughing at him off the bench. But a few kind of new faces there on the Reds reserves bench. I do see Fotuaika there alongside. There's no Alex Murphy for this match. And normally they have got, is it Folau Fainga'a? No, they haven't got him. Who's the other man that they have got normally in the starting line? It might be Folau Fainga'a, but he has gone away to France, I believe. That one's going straight over from Tetetela, and it is going to now make the score 6 points to 12 for the FIJIAN Drua. Is it? No. Where was Folau Fainga'a based? Was he at the Brumbies? And also, how long has Declan McDonald been following Kiwi lads? I think it's about the last 20 or 30 days, somewhere around those lines. As I'd hey from it was Ellie Hills in the chat. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Currently, we are sitting 26 minutes through this game. 12 points to the Reds and 6 to the Drua. They're a little bit slow adding the points for the Drua. They couldn't get the points on the board for the Reds quick enough. I did notice. Hopefully, they do give them points in a very short moment. Matawalu offloading it back across here for the FIJIAN Drua. Harry Wilson trying to go straight through the middle. He's still being told, don't do that. And Matawalu, now going to be putting up another box kick. We're seeing quite a strong kicking game from both sides throughout this match, but great under the high ball is Siruru. It's going to be knocked backwards. Still available for them, not able to find that offload, but they have got this ball about 45 out. James O'Connor with the drawn pass out to Hamish Stewart in the midfield. Now ball is sitting up for Kalani Thomas. I believe they've still got the advantage. Great attack and run from Ryan Smith. Now 25 out, Kalani Thomas off to O'Connor. Backline's looking very flat, very precise here for the Reds. Jordan Patai puts that one down. I jinxed him big time. And it is going to be going back for the scrum. Josh Nasser almost thought he was in for a try there, but did end up just missing out due to the handling error of Jordan Patai, although he did score a little bit earlier on in the game as well. We'll go like that, and we will go like that. I couldn't quite see how many phases we did have, as I did have it a little bit too high, but it was actually off the hand of Lota. Got him right in the chest area, and the ball did pop free. From anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got 2 more live streams happening later on tonight. They are going to be, first of all, the match between Munster, and also they are going to be playing up against the Bulls. And then after that, we are going to be we definitely are going to be doing Ireland versus England. It was going to be the deciding one of whether it was Bulls versus Munster or whether we were doing Italy versus Scotland. But we will keep you guys updated on both of those ones. And Reds Rugby players and the Reds called Hamish. as well. I assume because his parents named him Hamish, I would assume. More than likely. That is, of course, Hamish Stewart at number 12 for this game. But now will be Matawalu. We'll be feeding this ball in. It's an important scrum here for the Drua to make sure they don't push too early. And now it's going to be a solid push from the Reds. The ball recycled straight away, though. And now Hobossi gets a big carry forward. He's a hard man to put down, but Liam, or in fact it was Fraser McWright, goes around the bootlaces. Storm have a few injuries. And there's Shane, because they are currently playing, aren't they, up against the... Who are they playing currently? I can't even remember. The Tigers, I think it was, wasn't it? Now, Jock Campbell with the counter run here. Tackled low by Ravovo. In fact, it was Voto who made the tackle there. Kalani Thomas goes back to O'Connor Wilson, the try scorer from earlier on in the game. Almost on it for the Drua, but unable to get that turnover. O'Connor Hamish Stewart. How Scottish is that? Is on there, says David the Mod for that one. Now, I believe the Reds are probably the team in Super Rugby who have the most headgear out of anyone. Ball on the inside to Nasser. Now it's going to be big Fraser McWright. Driving himself third, Baden Kerr. He's got a knee injury. And Sururu goes in for the try. And it is the third of the match for the Reds. And Sururu gets it. But at what cost? Baden Kerr, he might be down currently. And it did not look too good for his kneecap. But Sururu scores himself a try in the 29th minute now. Goes over there. Was a bit of a juggle from Nasser. Saw him on the inside there for Fraser McWright, who links up nicely, but Baden Kerr, his knee got crushed, that kneecap. Hopefully he is going to be all right because the FIJIAN Drua do not want to lose him. Lizon and Yo as well. And there says Henry Samuel, also Tigers 8-4, says Shane. So have the Storm got injuries from this game, or did they have injuries going into that game? Do let me know. But either way, that's a good result so far for the Tigers, I would think. Seruru does score the try with a big dive over the top. And Seruru does score it. And when could we be in a party chat on Xbox? As I said, Sam Henry, that will depend on when I get a chance to go on Xbox. Overall, with the rugby and whatnot, and the weekend they're going upstairs here, I think it's going to be checking that Liam Wright pass. Or the pass from Josh Nasher to Liam Wright. That's the wrong man. It's Fraser McWright. Why does both men have Wright in their name? And also, because they come into a fight back, don't let Mr. Spencer's team to succeed as well. Although his team, he's the Reds, or no, sorry, not the Reds, he's the Waratahs, I think, for himself. So we are slightly all right in that regard. Of course, the Waratahs still in the top 8, right? What we looking at here? Seruru on the halfway line originally. I think it is that pass from Nasser going. Okay, they've said it's out of the hands backwards. It did drift forward. But they have said that it is all right. I'll also check that next one. I would argue that's forward. Or they're saying it's out of the hands backwards. I would argue to say that that's not out of the hands backwards. And also, in this game, the player went off maybe an ACL injury. And then that one's also close to forward. And no, he supports the Reds. Trust me, I study my enemies thoroughly. Okay, this next pass from Nasser. That one, if the last one isn't forward, that one is. I think this has got to be a 4 pass here. Okay, so it's going to be no try there. So that is going to be good news for the FIJIAN Drua, and it will be the scrum feed for them. I was going to say, if that first one isn't forward, second one certainly has to be from Josh Nasser into the hands of Fraser McWright. Oh, yeah, well, it's got there, Hamish. Don't you have... don't have you team dress for Reds or FIJIAN Drua, please also make sure you wear the dress of either of the teams when their match is going on. It would be cool. Says Coding, I would love to be able to get myself one, but each of their kits are about 150 New Zealand dollars, unfortunately. So pretty much this Chiefs kit, it was sent to me, so that is why I do have it on at the moment. And Storm are losing big players. Says Shane, but they are just showing that replay of the try, but it is a no try in the end, and they will have to take the 5 points off the Reds, and the Drua is still 6 points within the total that the Reds are sitting on here in this game. But 30 minutes gone, 12 points to 6 now for the FIJIAN Drua. What we got now, it is a scrum feed about 35 metres out from the line. He was close to getting himself his try for Super Rugby, but just ends up missing out. Taniela Tupou in the front row up against Ulia Kepa. That is a good battle on this near side, which certainly causes quite a bit of brute force between the two, I would think. I'm pushed in hard here for the FIJIAN Drua, hanging onto it. And also I mentioned a Drua dress, an actual dress that is not a jersey. And there's going to be a penalty to the FIJIAN Drua. and that will help them get up the field just a little bit further. But front row angling in. Was it against Danny Alatupo? No, it was actually the other side, and that was Harry Hoffert who has been penalised for that one. Currently, if they can keep this one within 7, I think I said at half-time for the Fijian Drua, if they keep that there, they will be in a good position to be able to fight hard in the second half. If it does run away a little bit further for the Reds, though, you would say it could be almost game over at halftime. But Taniela Tupou, 81 career caps, $2, 22 tries that man has scored, which is insane for a tight head prop to have. The possession in this game so far, 69% in favour of the Reds, and 7+ phases. We have seen the one on the Fijian Princess. And that one as well is going to be taken nicely by the Fijian Drua now. Matawalu passes across to Tala. Big carry forward here. I believe it was their big number 7. I think it was Mira. He's unconscious. No, he's woken up. What just happened there? I think he got knocked out and then he woke up straight away, but now he is staying down. So I think he is going to be, unfortunately, out for the rest of this game. I think he might have a concussion. How's everybody doing? As I said, Ed Vogel, welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing very well. I'm excited. We've got plenty more rugby coming on later on tonight. Are you guys going to get any rest until the Six Nations game? Or are you going to get any rest until the Six Nations games? I will not. Unfortunately, all Fijian Drua taking the quick tap. That is risky with the fact they've only got 14 men on the field rather than waiting for the 15th man to return. But yeah, I will end up just staying up right up until the Six Nations. Also, we have got Munster versus the Bulls. That will be taking place. Serrero dropped on his head, but they're going back for the initial penalty. Okay, double blow of the whistle. Okay, chicken potential foul play. I'm really impressed with the Six Nations for the last few years. For a long time, it was a kick and clap comp. They've obviously taken a leaf out of Southern Hemisphere team's playbook. Says David the Mod, and yeah, always entertaining. And a little known fact, I had 3 pairs of Reds training shorts. Guess that makes me a Reds fan up north. Says Flesh, and there you go. 3 pairs. I guess it is one of those ones that I know that I've got an All Blacks pair of shorts that aren't actually official All Blacks. I got them in Bali. So, I mean, about as legitimate as they come. You'd have to argue he didn't really drop for that one. That's an ugly fall for the Fijian Drua player. He was actually the captain as well. He just drops hard. I would argue he doesn't wrap his arms there, and he actually knocks out the Fijian Drua player. He lands extremely hard. This might be a yellow card, and is it 17-5 in this game? It's not. They haven't actually taken the points off the Reds yet. It's 12 points to 6 currently, but whoever's doing the scoreboard for this one has decided that they don't want to give up the points, and what our Super Rugby teams are still unbeatable so far, says Ed Vogel. Overlook. But not only does he land extremely hard, he also smacks his head, twists his knee, and it's just dangerous. So, and also we've got there an official All Black shop in Bali as well. I mean, it was cheap, that is for sure, but these are the teams who are undefeated. The Brumbies, they have not lost a game. The Reds have not lost a game here. And then also scrolling back down, I believe they are the only sides who have not been able to have a single loss. Okay, is it going to be a yellow or a red here for Josh Nasser? That's the big question. And those shorts were probably made in a sweatshop, Irish. I'll be your most probably feed a family for a month, says David the Mod there. And also, I used to have a Hurricanes training shorts. And there says Sam, a bullet mate from Abraham. Hope you are doing well, mate. We are just checking for another bit of potential foul play. Oh, that's another big hit. I think Harry Hoffert checks on him straight away. I think he got it a little bit wrong, and he acknowledged straight away that the timing was off for that one. Okay. Okay, that's not it. That's not the one that they're looking for. That's the wrong breakdown. Islanders will finish at the bottom of the table. Says Shane Hayes for that one. Okay, Matawalu takes the quick tap. Passes the ball off. Yeah, that's probably not too nice from Harry Hoffert either. That could be 2 yellow cards in one here for the Reds. Is that possible? Can you get 2 yellow cards for the same player? I guess you can. Or, okay. Okay, yellow card for Josh Nasser. What does the other man get for himself? Okay. Shoulder. He's also going to the bin. It's a bin party at the moment for the Reds, and they got 2 yellow cards in the same play. 2 front rowers out, recovering from alcohol poisoning after our defeat last night. Plus, they have the same Chiefs shirt you have on. See his flesh in there. Wait, they're going upstairs for another one. Blue 3 and blue 1. Now we're looking at things that the Fijian Drua have done. Sellout crowds at NRL games. Everyone is just, what is going on? We're going to have 13 on 13 here. The thing is, it's all front rowers. It's going to be Ulia Kepo and also Tawake who they are looking at now. We're running out of players. Okay, so Tawake, they're looking at his one first. What does he do? Tawake goes through. Okay, he's picked him up above the horizontal. You'd say it's a penalty, but it wouldn't be enough to overrule a yellow card. I don't believe we saw one of those in the last game, and it wasn't considered. I mean, the crowd are going, ooh, but we saw it in the last match, and it wasn't considered as a yellow card, so I don't think you can have it as a yellow card in this one. And then we're checking something else after this. This game's going to go for about 150 minutes at this stage. Okay, the crowd are all booing, of course, because they're from Suncorp Stadium. It's a yellow card. Okay, we're going to have another player off the field here. Baker might have to get involved in the scrums now. He might, because everyone's going home at this stage, but it's going to be Tawake. See, we actually had one like that in the Reds, or sorry, the Chiefs versus Crusaders game, and it was called as just a penalty, which is why I thought that it might have been the case here. The red card for Jordy Barrows against Australia was, to be honest, should have been a yellow. Is that the one that he kicked Marika Korombeti in the face? Now they're checking for another one. Okay. Okay. So it's a yellow card, but it's still going to... This is an interesting situation because Tawake in the bin for 10 minutes. Now, the thing with that is because there's been 2 yellow cards for the Reds and 1 yellow card for Fijian Drua, that means it's going to be a penalty to the Fijian Drua because they had less yellow cards in that play, even though they got one. My brain at the moment is scrambled. They're going to have to get more cheers. Why do they have baby cheers for the players who go to the bin? I remember Taniela Tupu had to sit on one that was only a couple inches off the field. So because of it now, it's going to be the penalty here. They're going for the scrum. I believe it's going to be uncontested. Maybe. I don't know. I think the Reds have to make a couple subs, which means that the Reds will be down to 13 men and also only have 2 in the back line. Also, it's a Simbin party. I mean, that's the first time I've seen that. 3 yellow cards all in the same play. Wow. That is impressive. And also, can you tell us what's happening rather than saying, okay, says Rajeshwar. Well, pretty much in that situation, there were 3 yellow cards for that one. I just needed to hear the explanation from the referees because even they didn't really know what was going on for that one. I've been following over for so many years. I've never heard of this before. And getting those tiers even hold someone like Teupo. They did last time. So as long as you got the right one that is built properly. Okay, that's actually going to be the captain here. And Dario Lange, I would have thought he'd be off for an HIA anyway, the way that he fell over. He looked like he was concussed or possibly knocked unconscious for a bit. But Fotuaika here, now it's up to 39 minutes. That tells you we took 7 minutes to do the TMO there because we are only sitting 33 minutes through this game as we currently sit. And well, was it 3 yellow cards for the same team? 2 for one side and 1 for the other. So now we've got the replacements making their way out onto the field. It's going to be Fotuaika and also Matt Faisler. The opportunity, hello, well done on Waikato. Says Rishi there, yeah, very good one for them over the Crusaders. So it's Fraser McRae and Hamish Stewart, going off the field now as our 2 Reds, 1 Drua, and 7 minutes, says Rishi. Yeah, it took a long time. They were looking at every single bit of foul play available there in this house, but that is now going to be, I think it's, what happened there for Teddy Yalachupa? I think he smacked Faisler on the back of the head, realized he smacked him quite hard, and I think he then apologized for smacking him on the back of the head, possibly trying to fire him up a little bit in the front row. And holy smokes, that only happens in soccer as well. And do you collect rugby jerseys? Should collect them for every matchup. Says Danny Lewis, this is actually my only one that I've got, and also a Waikato one for the Bunnings FSG. And what is happening says it was Andrew Samuel who are plenty. But yeah, the big thing for collecting the jerseys is they're like $120 on special here in New Zealand. So if I was to do the 5 New Zealand sides, you look at it $600 just off the bat and be able to get them all. But now Matawalu got this one available on the short side, and it's going to be the number 23, Ratave. Don't need to drive 14. You have to wonder the discipline from both sides. We have to be on point here for the next little while. But the Fijian Drua with the man advantage for the next 9 minutes. Can they make the most of it? Like you lads, welcome in. And 10-4 to the Tigers. That's going to be another penalty for the Fijian Drua. And there's a good chance here that we do get to see they walk forward 10. So someone from the Reds is not too happy currently. Someone might have been swearing. And the referee says, nah, not having it. You can march back. So now only 5 minutes out. I think Fiji will just take the quick tap here. Looks like Ulia Kepa will get himself going forward. Even the old ones, they will be cheaper, right? Says Danny. I think 2017's kit is $100 over here at the moment. Why don't you make the competition in Rugby Challenge 4? Said Samuel or Henry Samuel, I should say. We are actually going to be doing something for Rugby Challenge 4 in the future for Super Rugby. It's probably going to be when we get New Zealand sides up against Australian sides is when we are going to be picking up that. I would assume that if anyone who sits behind Tini Alatupo, I wouldn't have the best of views. Says Sebastian, yeah, he's certainly a beast. Who's that down? I think that's Josh Fluke. We're losing players flat out, whether it's injury, whether it is penalties, cards, you name it, we've had it there. I have a single All Blacks jersey. The Super Rugby jerseys are not too badly priced in Johannesburg. That one when is the next Rugby Challenge video, says LA. It's probably going to be hopefully next week. And also we will have a little bit of Rugby League Live 4 perhaps coming around the corner. It is just, we are setting up the new studio. And once the studio is set up, then we will be all good to film many games in a row, many sessions in a row. So Kiwi lads do say sup, welcome in. And also wish I could post a pic of me, says Rishi there for that one. And come on, Drew, make the Fiji proud. And that one from Pranay. And also this is insane how expensive rugby jerseys are in New Zealand, says Danny Lewis. But that's the thing, because rugby is our main sport, people know that they will end up paying money, or they kind of know that people will end up buying it for that much. Sonny Bill Williams, he's got a fight coming up for the boxing. I do see the Lawson creator now. Josh Fluke, going to be ready to go here. Only 5 meters out from the line. The Fijian Drua, they say we don't want the scrum anymore. And this is now 5 minutes out. This game's bizarre, says Lex Axel on Rugby Challenge 4 on Friday next week, please. And there says the New Zealand. We've got a couple of games of Super Rugby that will be coming up. And I feel like bizarre is the perfect way of summing up this game. It looks like Matawalu will be taking the quick tap, gives it off to Ulia Kepa. No, instead going out the back line. Tell her they've got the man overlap. And it's going to be Ravovo getting closer and closer. 5 out. Looking to the short side. They do sling it wide. Taken nicely by their number 19, the big man, who is named Tui Fagalele. Getting close there for the Fijian Drua. It's only about a meter short of the line. They're saying it's down, but I feel like they possibly should have recycled it just in case. $150 for jerseys in New Zealand. 3 yellow cards in the first half. Will we see a red card in the second half? I would say so, more than likely. And also, when is the next Rugby Challenge video? As LA. So, yeah, probably next week or the week after will be when we get the next one. I just sent 3 Home Nation shirts to a mate in Palmerston North. It's cheaper to buy them up here and send them to New Zealand for him. Says Flesham for that one. And also my TV 40 seconds ahead of you. Hello from the future, says Lex Axel. Welcome in. They're going upstairs for the TMO decision. If the Fijian Drua scoreless try, they'll be right back in this game. Right. Initially, I thought he was short, but then the momentum, I think it was actually the big man at number 18, Nasa Solo, who helped drive him over. Okay, they need clear, conclusive evidence. I mean, I think Matawalu thought it was over. It's whether or not there is a grounding, a clear grounding, though. Okay, they're saying, oh, he fell in the way, Harry Wilson. It was going to be the right angle, and yeah. And then, Felicia, where do you buy from? And then, please, no red cards. It really spoils the contest. Here's Rishi. But yeah, currently 13 against 14 in this game. That is certainly something we haven't seen for a while in Super Rugby. Normally, when you have so many men going off in a row, it's because someone started throwing fists. Not for this one, which Fijian player will score a try in this match. It's held up, and it's going to be the goal line dropout. I would say, to be honest, Ravovo, he looks like he's been pretty strong throughout the early stages, although he did have a massive run and almost ended up getting himself in a little bit of trouble in terms of trying to chase or just trying to run towards the try line. He almost had the breakaway, though. And like they're saying, Harry Wilson did well there, Hunter Paisami, and I'll also give credit to Jock Campbell. He blocked this near side, so they couldn't actually see whether or not it was going to be that we do you wear that jersey to your local pub? I do not, because I live in Canterbury, and I would probably get just uppercutted by a random stranger who would be definitely not tonight after they've lost. That would not be a fun pub to be in. Oh, Jordan Pattaya lands on his head. That's going to be another yellow card. But now going back across, it could even be a red here for the Fijian Drua. Now cutting back on the inside. Nicely done by the replacement number 22, Lawson Creighton. It looks like Pattaya's hit the ground hard. He's got back up, though. Down the yellow Tupo, the Tongan Thor driving forward. 35 minutes into this game and only 15 out from their own line. It looks like they want to attack here. Hunter Paisami going through. Oh, what a game. And this is Henry Samuel. It is indeed. Both sides just going back and forth. James O'Connor Ball on the outside to Harry Wilson. He's got Jordan Petaia with him now, finds him. Going to be back in the pace. Doesn't get ankle tapped. Ball on the inside, trying to link up. It doesn't quite find the hands there of Angus Blow. There is the ball kicked out of his hands. And now it's a counter-attack from the Fijian Drua. One of the players, Matawalu, got taken out. And 6 for the Reds. Is he Aboriginal as well as his back sex? So I assume we are talking Suru. I think it's possibly. Or he might even be Fijian. And also, last time I remember such a match with Sharks vs Crusaders, and the Satyrs were still dominant with 12 or 13 men. And also, why do you have Waikato and Chiefs jerseys when you live in the Canterbury region? Because they were sent to me by someone from Waikato, and I felt like if I didn't end up wearing it, like for the live streams, it just didn't seem right. Like them sending it, they took their time to send it to me. They're willing to give me their kit, so I do wear it for a lot of the Chiefs games. It's a perfect night to go trick-and-treating around South Canterbury in the Chiefs jersey. If you want to get stabbed, I would think. Like, that's the thing. I don't think I could leave the house in this kit. I think I've done it once, and that was actually when I had a jersey over the top, and even then I thought someone noticed it, which I was a little bit nervous about that one. But it's Jordan Petaia who got hit in the ribcage. I think they're saying that it's not actually going to be a yellow card for the Fijian Drua player for Jordan Petaia flipping. Okay. Needs to get onto the mark there for the number 16. Matt Faisler for this one. And Crusaders, Aura is gone. As RC's leg six, that one's been fired out the back. Chirika Davida taking it beautifully there for the Fijian Drua. Now Matawalu looking for the wide cut out pass. It was a rough one. Mistake there, but it's not put down. And well, Tigers lead Melbourne 14-4. Luckily, they've got themselves a scrum feeder, else that could have been a dangerous try. And also, do people get aggressive about it? Only if the Crusaders are losing, I would think. It's like anything. If you're in Ireland and you're wearing a French kit after Ireland have just lost, like, they're not going to go up and punch you. They'll just probably make a comment about, like, why you're wearing that. That person was the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny Blaze. It was indeed. Just shop on into that. A lot of outlets up here. And also, to be fair, most of our last season shirts says it fleshing for that one, a media cliche. Says Lax Axel and Tigers leading Melbourne 14-4. Now, the question about that one, the thing is, before the game, we all went, surely the Tigers, like, you wouldn't think they'll be able to win, but they are currently doing very nicely. I did that once wearing the wrong jersey in the wrong area. I had people shouting at me from moving cars, says Sebastian there. So there you go. Was that in Romania, I assume, for maybe a football match, or was it international rugby that it was? But currently now the scrum feed for the Fijian Drua, 10 metres out from their own line and 2 minutes left in this first half. They've added an extra man. Okay, they've just said you're either in or you're out. It took a long time to join that breakdown there for Habosi. So the referee has said, you've got to make sure that if you are in, and you can't run in from the back. Try and give it that extra push. But now they've got 8 on 8 here football. So that's the Sebastian there. But currently 4 minutes 30 left of the yellow card for the Fijian Drua. 4 minutes 30 left of the 2 yellow cards for the Reds Australia playing at the moment. And there says Shane, I assume we are talking the cricket here for it. And at the moment for the tea break, it is sitting for 171 for 2 for Australia. But Marnus going out for the duck. That will certainly affect that man's average. Will they punch you in Ireland? Fans are there are diehard fans. New Zealand doesn't seem to have diehard fans. I don't think they'll punch you in Ireland. Like, they'll probably just share a beer with you and tell you how bad your team went or something along those lines, and that you'd beat, or that they beat you on a different day. And so crazy because they see bananas. Okay. I don't think I can read the rest of that out of all Australia are playing at the moment. I assume that is the cricket that we are talking there as well. But now Suru currently 22 metres out here for the Reds, doing nicely at scrum time to get that ball back. But inside ball off to Jock Campbell, finds the offload. There's another advantage for a little knock on from the Fijian Drua. Jordan Petaia goes sideways. Now isolating the man on his outside there, which I believe for this game will be Lawson Creighton because of the earlier sub. Suru now continuing to make his way forward. Ball popped up nicely. Now cross kick. In fact, it's a drop goal attempt there from James O'Connor. I mean, he gets it. No, he doesn't. He misses there for James O'Connor. And I think someone out on the wing was going, why did you do that? We could have gone for the cross kick rather than the drop kick. You've got the 3 anyway, if you do want it. I'll take the one straight out in front, and they will be taking on the 3 here. Now, it's an interesting choice from James O'Connor. Would you have gone for the drop kick in that situation, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think I would have. I think I would have gone for the cross kick, and then from there, if it didn't work out, then you've still got the option straight out in front, and score still hasn't changed. They don't want to give the... Okay, now they've taken it back for 50 minutes. Right, that is better. They didn't want to give the Reds that try disallowed, did they? And there's English fans, Hurt Status fans, and then Island girls, the latter will kill you as well. And that's an interesting comment, Ollie. Says Sebastian there. It certainly is. Came out of nowhere, just like an RKO from Randy Orton. But 15 minutes through this game, but we're still in the first half. The scoreboard's very confused, ladies and gentlemen. has no idea what's going on at this point in time, but it just shows me that about 10 minutes of stoppages to do with TMO and whatnot. This game kicked off about an hour ago, or maybe somewhere along those lines. But now James O'Connor straight out in front has got that one over, and Chiefs got a pretty good record against the Status nowadays. A nice upset, says Josh. And the thing is, this kit, Johnny Blaze, I don't know what he did to it, whether or not he did give it some sort of special spell, but anytime I wear it, they win. For some reason, like 90% of the time, the only game that they've lost is that last one of Super Rugby Aotearoa up against the Blues, where they played their, I guess you could say, their slight training squad so that they were all rested for the final. Got abused for wearing an AB shirt of football fans, which was odd, says Flesh-In. I mean, that's the thing. If they knew that it was an AB's kit, surely, like, they also follow a little bit of rugby. It's just an interesting one. Was there a team playing for the football that did wear a black kit? Please indeed let me know. And Hamish, you watched the finals of the Euro 2020, Italy versus England. I believe I did watch the replay of it. I didn't get to watch it live, though, unfortunately. But currently now we are at halftime. Even though this says 51 minutes, this pretty much is a lost cause at this point. Up until we get to see it hit halftime, then hopefully it does work out where exactly we are in the world and what is going on for this game up against the Reds and the Fijian Drua, because it still hasn't updated to 15 points for the Reds either and gave us the shirt a special spell. I'm hoping you're not thinking of what I'm thinking. We're thinking a bit of voodoo, perhaps. Oh, no, wait a minute. What do you think of something else? And I was watching live, and I got beer poured on me last time. Blues won in Chicha, and I'm 23. Was it by one of your friends, or was it just a stranger that did it? And I was like, Blues to win Super Rugby, says Shane. Apparently, they are going to have to make sure that they continue building on the form that they're finding. They've had some tough games, though, for themselves, so they've got to make sure that they do play that 110%. But what we will quickly do is we will get some stats to do with this match, even though it's 15 points to 6. Once the scoreboard realizes, which it still hasn't, it's very confused at what is going on. We had 3 yellow cards all at the same time in this one. 2 tries for the Reds, who have had 412 attacking running meters. Geez, when's the last time the Blues won in Christchurch? 2003 is on. This is Josh. Yeah, it's been a wee while, isn't it? In case to win their second ever Super Rugby, says Henry Samuel, but 185 meters carried for the Fijian Drua. So actually quite a difference. 24 defenders beaten by the Reds compared to the 3 of the Drua, and then 4 clean breaks compared to the one clean break for the Fijian Drua. Almost led to the try for Ravovo, but just wasn't quite able to get through. 10 offloads combined for these two sides. 24 missed tackles, but made 74. And a stranger still apparently was a little, as I says Lax Axel. So wait. If we're talking the last time the Blues won, if that is 2003, were you 23 at the time, or were you like a 6-year-old and they poured beer on you? I feel like that is pretty rough, that one. But currently quite a few penalties throughout this game. 11 against the Reds, 7 against the Fijian Drua, and also 2 for the yellow cards for the Reds, and also 1 for Fijian Drua. 62% for the possession there, and 2 long, mate. And there says Lax Axel for when the last time was that they were able to get themselves to win. But Jordan Pattaya, 65 meters carried, 4 carries, 3 defenders beaten, 1 clean break so far throughout the match. Also scored himself the try, but Hunter Paisami leading the bunch. And Blues won last year. Okay, well, that's all right then. And also, Hamish, the Tigers, Alina saw him 14-4. What the man? I mean, no one was expecting that. The Breakers also leading the Adelaide 36. So that's probably not as much of an upset. But yeah, the Tigers winning that game quite nicely for themselves. That will be almost halftime as well, won't it? In that one. But yeah, Hunter Paisami, 72 meters carried, 7 carries, 4 defenders beaten. And then also another honourable mention, Fraser McWright, 56 meters carried, 7 carries, 1 defender beaten. In fact, there's actually only 3 men in the starting lineup who have not beaten a defender. That is James O'Connor, that is Angus Blythe, and it is Josh Nasser. Josh Nasser not going to beat any for a while. He's in the bin. He's not allowed to come back yet. And also injuries to Melbourne. And then there's Shane on that one. But then also, yeah, everyone else being able to get themselves some form of defender beaten in that one. But then for the Fijian Drua, it's been Ravovo. He's had 3 carries, but he's carried 70 meters. And the second half says Shane for that one. But 70 meters for an individual. The next highest is actually 16 meters for 3 players. Baden Kerr, it is Mira and Darren Alangi, who is going to be going back out onto the field for the second half, I would assume. Even though seemed like he had a little bit of an injury in the first half. 10 tackles made by Harry Wilson, the only player for the Reds to reach double figures. Fraser McWright making 7 tackles, getting the 1 turnover 1. And then looking through at the Fijian Drua, we've had a few men who have made 8 and 7 tackles. Tawake making 8. Then also it is Mira making 7, getting the turnover. Habosi getting 5 tackles made, winning the turnover for a side twice in that first half. And like they're saying, the nature of the game at the moment, 3 yellow cards, it does mean that there's going to be a lot more space opening up for both sides in the early stages of the second half. But the FIJIAN Drua, you'd have to say, I said if they were within 7, they had a big moment and a big opportunity to be able to win this game. Now that they are sitting 9 points behind, they're still right on the verge. So if they get themselves either an early penalty or they do end up going on and doing very nicely, perhaps they will be able to get into a position to win this match. I'm just going to check the odds as well while we are at it, see what they are sitting at for the FIJIAN Drua. Currently, I will show you guys the benches, who is coming off the bench in these games. Faisal already out on the field, Fotuaika already out on the field, and then also it was, I believe, Solo who has made his way out there, and that is due to the other yellow card taking place as well. Currently, Ratabe, we've also seen him out there for a little bit of time. So the FIJIAN Drua to win this game is currently paying $15 compared to the $1.01 of the Reds. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see which way it does end up going for the second half. But the penalties, they have been able to get 2 over for the FIJIAN Drua compared to the Reds, who have just got their 1, but they have scored 2 tries in Pataya and Wilson. And if they get 1 more, that will give them the bonus point sitting in their favor. But this is also the table the way that we were sitting. If the Reds win this, they will propel themselves above the Crusaders. If the FIJIAN Drua win this game, they will actually push themselves right up into the Waratahs territory of 7th. And why is it sport athlete get injured more frequently nowadays, you reckon? Supplements player black legal, of course, says Lex. I think it's just like everyone is built like an absolute just machine currently. Like they all train hard, and like the contact, I feel like the contact is getting harder and harder because the players have so much more ability to train and increase. Like, and nowadays, like back in the day, if you were going to be like trying to increase your speed or something, you just go for a few runs. And nowadays, like when you want to increase your speed, you've got all those elastic bands that can help you increase your acceleration. So everyone's just smacking into contact as hard as possible, which I think is why injuries are starting to creep through a lot more nowadays than they used to, because everyone is just running at 1,000 miles an hour. Like the fact that someone like a Taniela Tupou could win a sprint race, like that's scary. Like with the fact that he's about 130 kgs and also just pure ball of strength, power, and determination to be able to keep on going. Currently Solo, and also it was earlier on Tui Fagalili has made his way out and gains professional, all built like a brick houses as well. I was going to say a brick wall, but that is what I wanted to say. As just like Norm said, you don't get a chance to properly heal your injuries. You got to carry on until you're completely broken, says Sebastian. And yeah, that was our Norm Maxwell interview, ladies and gentlemen. If you do want to check that out, it is on the Kiwi Lads main channel. This is the link to the Kiwi Lads Sport as well. If you guys do want to help us out, be sure to hit the subscribe button over on there, as we have got plenty more content coming on that channel. This channel, all of our channels are starting to get a little bit of a revamp, and we have got plenty more content coming extremely soon. And Dol Buller, and that says, Guy, welcome into Livestream, mate. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, be sure to subscribe on that Kiwi Lads Sport channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers over there now, and we are getting closer and closer. We're almost 3/4 of the way there. And true mate says Lax Axel, that one as well. But we have got ourselves plenty of action that will be taking place on the channel. We've got the NRL and also a few of the other cricket matches. So IPL we will be covering on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel alongside the main channel as well. So we're going to have a whole heap more content on both channels alongside the gaming channel. We've got plenty going on at the moment in the world of the Kiwi Lads, but we have just reached 10,000. So we've got a video coming out soon, and that is going to be the video of us watching old clips. I think George is going to be available. He actually sent me a message in between the 2 live streams, and he's like, hey, I'm going to Macca's for breakfast, but then I am free. So I was like, sweet, that sounds like that is the plan. So I don't know whether or not Leinster versus Ulster will be able to take place in the morning, depending on what time it does end up starting. How's it looking for Wellington tomorrow for the White Burns win against Australia, says Shane. I mean, it's looking not too bad for that one, but I'll just have a quick look. And Wellington, I mean, it's probably going to be windy, I would think, more than likely. I know that people in Wellington hate when you say it's going to be windy, but today it's going to be windy all throughout the night and also windy tomorrow all throughout the day. So I feel like it's a perfect example of Wellington weather at its finest. And also, this is the best channel on YouTube, says Guy. Appreciate you, mate. And we have got plenty more content coming in the near future. Aaron Smith always informed, but Fakatave has been poor off the bench, better as a starter, says Lax. And yeah, I think he needs a little bit more time to get himself into, I guess, just some form of like kind of minutes, I guess you could say. He's just been missing too many. Seriously, go, Drew, go. That one of Mackie D's for breakfast, says George completely lost the plot. I think he did a long time ago, but he likes himself. He's probably going to get like a McMuffin or something like that and go for it from there. But the Chicken Nugget Challenge, it's coming up very soon. Isaac's birthday also very soon. So for his birthday, I am going to get him his 50 chicken nuggets that we will be doing for that video. But I think it's going to be me, Isaac, and George possibly available. In fact, I'll message Isaac very quickly. We missed George, says Daniel. Or sorry, says David. I miss him too. Like, we haven't seen him for, I think he's been around earlier on in the week. And which team do you want to win, says Anna. I mean, it's awesome seeing him then go, well, hey, Isaac actually messaged me. Oh, that's 9:04. I thought he messaged me 4 minutes ahead into the future. And I was like, that doesn't really work. There we go. We'll ask him if he is free tomorrow as well, because if he is, it does mean that we will be able to film that video, maybe with the four of us. And also we have got the George emoji from Sebastian. But the Fijian Drua, if they dig deep, they've got a decent chance. And also, when does Radradra contract end? Join Fiji. Drua brother, says Lax Axel. He'll be a star, definitely alongside maybe like a Joshua Tuasova in that backline, and you'll be doing well. Get 50 nuggets down, says Josh. Yeah, it will be quite the challenge. But that is going to be our, I guess, goal that we are trying to go for. It's going to be 50 nuggets per person. I think we're going to have to spend like, it's going to be over $100 at McDonald's. So that is why we did have the Chicken Nugget Fund a little while ago to help pay for that. But yeah, the Kiwi Lads Enterprises / just us will probably have to pay for a little bit more of it as well. But that is all right. And you and George are so funny, says David Lamont, and you're funny, says Anna. And that one as well. Is that for Radradra joining, or is that for Fijian Drua winning this game? Because the Reds are definitely favourites. I think it's like $15 underdogs here, and that's a lot of sweet and sour sauce. Love me some sweet and sour sauce, that is for sure. I don't think I really have too many other options from McDonald's overall. I think you get per 10, you get 2 sauces, I think it is. So you get like 10 sauces. So you'd have plenty more if you want to do homemade nuggets or any in like the freezer section. Oh, to work well. And also, let's have another Nuggets fundraiser, says David Moore. I mean, we could, if you guys are keen, if you do want to help pay for the chicken nuggets. I guess there is that donation button. It is not complete, like it's not compulsory though. If you don't want to, it is completely fine. And also, what happened to that blow up doll? George get lonely as well, says Lax. Yeah, it's in my room, which sounds bad, but I'm going to explain. It's pretty much in my room in the corner because he's quite a round individual for the like kind of space that he takes up because of how much ear's in him. So I have him in the corner. I might not be able to watch that. I'm feeling sick just thinking about sinking 50 nuggets in a go. And I know that sounds right, says Lax Excellent. Also, we have got there. Will the Highlanders be the first team to lose against the new team? Maybe. I'm keen, says David the Mod, for that one as well. Oh, we got a KFC ad. They're just trying to make me hungry at the moment by the looks of it. But that's where Luke Jacobson is. He's not playing for the Chiefs because he's currently doing ads for KFC. That makes sense. Probably injured of some sort, so that's why he's able to do those ads rather than taking part in the games. But the Chiefs next week, I will show you guys exactly who everyone is going to be playing next week. The Fijian Drua, they have got themselves the opportunity here, and they will be playing up against the Western Force. That is okay in there as I welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Currently, the second half just about to get underway, but then also looking through the Reds, they've got a big match up against the Brumbies, which is always a phenomenal game in Crusaders, or Chiefs beat Crusaders. They did indeed. And that's the thing. I'm from Canterbury. I wore the Chiefs kit because it was sent to me. And this kit has about a 90% success rate. And also, we still don't believe you can eat 50 nuggets as well as George, says down the mod. I feel like George, the thing with George is I don't think it will be the nuggets that are the problem. It will be getting bored of the nuggets. He'll be like, after about 30, this is boring. I want to eat something different. Where are the chicken wings? Whereas for me, I mean, I think I could work hard, try and sneak it a little bit. Like about 50. And also, our Warriors lost. Tigers are leading the Storm. And we got the Satyrs next week, eh? Says Josh there. They sure do. The Blues versus the Satyrs on the Sunday afternoon game. A Rugby 22 ain't game. As an all right game. I wish it had all the licenses. Yeah, it would be a lot better if it did have all of them. But still missing a few. Yeah, 50 chicken nuggets each. So we're going to be buying a lot. 50 nuggets is easy. And Chief Sauce, take your shirt off as well, says Sarah. But they won. They beat the Crusaders. It was a massive win for themselves. I mean, I could take the shirt off, but I got nothing on underneath. So depending on whether or not you want that situation, home or away for the Blues, I believe that is I think it's a home game. I'm just going to have another quick look here. See where it is. No, it's a home game for the Crusaders, so that's going to make it just a little bit trickier. But, of course, with less of a crowd, Orange Theory Stadium maybe not having the same effect that we expected to see. And also, we have got the Easy Tea. And then there it says Lax Axel for eating 50 nuggets. But Chirika DeVito, I'm excited to see him in the second half because he is a beast of an individual. And now Thunderstruck once again playing at Suncorp Stadium. They know how to hype up two sides when they do make their way out. Ratave is going to be important and showed us the way. And there says Josh for the Chiefs. Yeah, I would get that one 24 points to 21 in that one. But now 40 minutes left in this game. The Fijian Drua, they want to get themselves back into this contest. If they score an early try, they can certainly do so. Plenty of cheers around on the touchline, and that is because all of the players getting yellow carded in that first half. 3 to be exact, probably the most yellow cards we've seen in a half of Super Rugby in a very long time. And we'll close the score points. Says Ed, they need to make the most of 2 minutes here. They've got 2 minutes where they have got 14 against 13. So that will be the interesting one. And also, sorry, Chiefs Wins, keep it on. As I said, the ANZ Netball Championship starts tomorrow afternoon. And there says Shane Hayes. And also Warriors lost. I'm shook. And there says Lex. And also we have got there, can you sing? I cannot sing. Like pretty much no song bone in my body. Although I did have to do a play back at school. Or not a play, but like they kind of did things with us at school. That sounds really bad. I'm going to have to clarify. Pretty much like the local, or like that each year you do pretty much a performance for the school, how it would be like they'd either do a play or something like that. So I had to do a couple of things there, but I was always the kid like who would just mouth the words just because that's easier. And I know both Sullivan brothers become AB Bolters, and also the Umaga Jensen brothers seem like they are going to be going forward. I'm just going to quickly write, George is coming around, coming in morning. There we go. So Isaac, we might be able to get about 3 of us together. We'll have to message Daniel as well. He'll be asleep currently and draw women's, beat the women's Red side. And there's Cicero. They're going very well, the Fijian Drua side. A good kick downfield now, currently 35 metres out from their own line here. The Reds, it's a great counter-attack there from the Fijian Drua. They've stolen the ball. No, it's a penalty to the Reds. Almost able to get that one back. But I believe it was 2 blue, which is for this match. Dolakoto was penalised in that one. And he just left his feet a little bit. But the Drua, they still got another minute left of their yellow card. The Reds still have a minute as well. Everyone knows Warriors can't win games. And there's Shane. Because whereabouts did the Dragons finish last year? They're not really top. Were they top 8? No, I don't think they did get top 8, did they? But now it looks like the 2 men for the Reds about to warm up and get ready to go back out onto the field, just keeping the legs warm. And now Fraser McGrath, it looks like he will get to make his way back out onto the field here as well. But now Kalani Thomas, 50 metres out. Harry Wilson straightens. Good low tackle from Frank Lamani that they made the sub at halftime. That is for Matawalu. And it is great to see Lamani back at the Fijian Drua. He was playing for Northampton Saints in the Gallagher Premiership. They must have released him. Jordan Pataya, that is forward. That is not forward. They have said it's not forward. I would have called that forward every day of the week. That one at Aussie, everyone knows our Warriors can't win games. And there says Shane Hayes, but now Fortuaker driving his way forward. Frank Lamani straight on the ball. Unable to turn over. That's a little knock on the ground. Are they watching the game, the referees? That was knocked on by the Reds. And also, Dragons don't know what top 8 means. And Penrith looked good in their game. They did indeed. That one's gone into touch now, or has it? They've said no. Have we got anyone? Right, we've got about 3 blows of the whistle here. They've said it's now gone into touch. There were probably about 3 moments that could have been Fijian Drua's ball, but now all the players making their way back out there. So that's going to be Nasser, Hoffert, and also now Fraser McWright gets to make his way back out onto the field. So now back to 15 versus 15 now. So everyone, they did their little break, 10 minutes off, 3 of the players all in the front row. So there was quite a reshuffle that the teams had to adapt to, I guess you could say. Now ready to go here for the line out, and it is going to be Dolakotu who will have the line out throw. Currently 42 minutes into the game. So the Fijian Drua, they didn't manage to get themselves too many points on the ball. Fiji going to make a comeback and win, mark my words, folks, says Thursday. And if they do so, will be extremely impressive, that is for sure. But Frank Lamani now firing across. It's well taken by Ratave. Dragged down by Harry Hoffert, who has just made his way back out. Lamani fires it back to Teller, who strikes it nicely down the middle of the field. It looks like it might bounce here. No, taken nicely there by Josh Fluke. Kicks it in behind. Looking for some space. Taken by Lamani. Now kicks this ball high. Going for the up and under. Not able to line it up there. And now it's going to be O'Connor. Dragged down nicely, running, straightening a little bit. And also we need to open up games for more crowds at games. Follow the rest of the world. And there's Shane. So hopefully by the time we get those kind of, I guess, Trans-Tasman games, we do get some bigger crowds at the games. Got to run forward from Ryan Smith. Now there's only 3 players, like I mentioned, in that starting lineup who haven't got a line break. or a clean break, I should say, or a tackle's broken through, defenders beaten. That is the word I was after. That's a penalty there to the Fijian Drua for holding on. And do they take the quick tap? Rutave considers it, but he says, nah, we're all right. We won't do it just yet. And that one, by not releasing ball against James O'Connor, the Fijian Drua can score themselves a try. They'll be on 13 points, and they will be right back in this contest if they can convert, that is. But now, Kalani Thomas off to James O'Connor. Flat ball off to Siru Uru, who then did get wrestled to the ground. James O'Connor trying his best. And also we got there, Josh Fluke. What a name as well. And yeah, I guess you'd say he's a very good player out on the wing, though, I guess. But it is F-L-O-O-K. So I was saying something completely different. I think I was saying Fluke for the first stage because I thought it might have been look similar. But yeah, Josh Fluke out on the wing. Jock Campbell out on the other, and then Jordan Patai. They've got a lot of J's in their team. Forward names. Another Josh and Josh Nasser, who has come back out onto the field after his yellow card, and Dunedin is a new hotspot for virus. And there's Shane Hayes. Now Frank Lamani goes that back across. It is going to be the big man at number 20 for this one, whose name I'm going to have to look at again because it is hard to say. It was actually Tamani. I was thinking of the number 19. Lamani gets played as the halfback. Charika Davita tries to strain and Harry Hoffett, driving him backwards nicely. They've still got the penalty advantage, though, for the draw. That ball's gone over the top, tackling a man without the ball there. I would think Danny Alatupo trying to chase after that one, and it's going back for the penalty, right? The draw is straight out in front. If he gets the 3, this would be 9 points to 15, if they want to go for it, that is. Or maybe they decide that maybe... Okay, I think it's going to be Teller. They're taking on the shot here for the Fijian Drua. Smart option, because the last thing you want is to give away the ball in the line out or something along those lines and blow your chance of being within the 7. Big Tani Alatupo, he decided to kick that one forward. Got plenty of skill, the big man, Tongan Thor. But, like they're saying, the Reds, discipline's been letting them down. I believe that's about 13 penalties against them so far in this match. Is there any outbreaks in the rugby teams? Yes. I believe every single team has now got some form of cases in New Zealand. And also in Australia, I think there is also quite a few cases popping around. And Dunedin students were partying hard even during lockdown, not surprising. And will Highlanders and Rebels get their W in round 5? So the Highlanders, they have got the opposition in the Moana Pacifica, don't they? That'll be a good game. And then the Rebels, they are going to be playing up against that was close to not missing, or not going over, I should say. But it does go over in the end. Who have they got for their next game here? It is going to be the Rebels taking on the Waratahs. So you'd say for these two sides, these games are probably the best chance for them to get the victory for next week. And students have the right to party as well. And there says Shane. Now we will go like this, and we will go like this as well. There we go. We have got it back up. Now it is going to be kicking this one off. It's actually going to be Jock Campbell. Does get the opportunity to kick this one high. And it's going to be taken not quite nicely. And Fiji Drua basic boys. Basics, win or lose, always Drua, says Siru there. And yeah, I do love the Fijian Drua kit. I might have to consider getting myself one. Jordan Patai goes straight through. Ulia Kepa looks for the offload, finds Campbell. And now finding the offload back to Ryan Smith. Driven backwards. They've got the penalty advantage, I believe, currently for the Reds. They're only 15 metres out from the line. Kalani Thomas goes short side. Paisami, nice overlap there with James O'Connor. Straight on it for Mira now around the side. Fraser McRae drag down. Almost crushed straight on his head. Yeah, that would have hurt quite a bit. Lucky he does have the headgear on. That one, I think he's rubbing the top of his head at the moment. Tars versus Force, who do you got? And there, or who do you go for? I think, for me, I mean, the Waratahs are a bit of the unknown this season because they did very nicely in their first couple of games. So I'll say the Western Force win it, but it could be close for it. And the Tars could easily get up, but they're going back for the penalty. And now I believe the Reds will take the easy 3 out in front to give them back to the 9-point lead, which will be a very comfortable one, isn't there? Super Rugby tomorrow. There is indeed 4 p.m. It's when that one will be taking place. We will go like this. And one moment. I think I did make this one up. There we go. So the game that is taking place tomorrow, it's not in 1 day, 22 hours time. It is going to be Sunday, 4 p.m. Waratahs. They'll be taking on the Western Force and should be a very exciting contest. 4 p.m. is a weird time to have it, I guess you could say, compared to all of the other matches, but we are still going to be covering it on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, as long as I'm not sleeping, which I shouldn't be at that stage. But then we will be able to cover Pakistan versus Australia in the evening as well, which is exciting stuff. But now James O'Connor going to be lining up this one. We have also got there a spammer. It was expected at some stage, I would have thought. And Force Richard Carr, he's showing up these kids. And also we have got there, let's go draw, you can do it. And it there says Holy Hamster. But now it's going to be James O'Connor lining up this kick. Won't take too long to line up this one straight out in front. And Tars are predictably competitive. As well says MH Troy. And yeah, they're certainly doing a lot better. And also, the bots have arrived. They have, but Sebastian was straight on it. Pretty sure he timed them out, or maybe it was Paddy. Someone timed them out before I even got a chance to time or to block them. That one, but that one's gone over. Now 18 points to the Reds and 9 for the Fijian Drua. What's the score in the NRL? And Hurricanes got COVID. The worst postponed. And there, so yeah, it might be next game as well that they might not be able to play. I will have a look at the NRL. I do just want to mention anyone who doesn't want to know the score in the NRL game between the West Tigers and also it is currently the Melbourne Storm. I'm going to say in 5 seconds, I'm going to say what the result is. So make sure to either cover your ears or mute myself for the next little while. But currently in the game of the NRL, Melbourne Storm versus West Tigers, it's 20 points to 16 in favour of the Storm. All done. Anyone who did mute, we are back. Now, and also we've got who got Scotland versus Italy. I think Scotland should win that one. We are probably going to be covering Munster versus the Bulls at the time of that match, but also covering it alongside it now. Good backline movement here for the Fijian Drua. Straight through, finds the offload on the outside. Out to Ratave. They've got numbers. He decided to back himself, gets driven over backwards. And Ratave gets a shove in the back as well from Angus Life for his troubles. And also we've got the Vanaka and the jet there from Hone there. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing very well, mate. And the Fijian Drua doing nicely. Go Storm and Warriors lost by 30 probably in the SSX. I think they were a little bit closer. They lost by 12. A little bit better, but that was a great tackle from Jordan Pattaya. Got the legs up and was able to stop any chance of the Fijian Drua from finding the touchline or finding the try line. They still are very slow with the scoreboard. They haven't given the Reds their extra 3 points to go Storm. And they're from Shane, only a couple of meters out here. Harry Wilson tackled almost on the ball, but unable to turn it over there for the Drua. What time is the England game? It is going to be at 5:45 a.m. for that one. So it is a nice early morning start for us in New Zealand. The other game is taking place at 3:15 a.m. But we will be possibly doing Bulls versus Munster at 3:05 a.m. instead. So still a few hours away. And also, and they're from Holy Hamster. Yeah, not what the Fijian Drua wanted. All he needed was that ball on the inside, and it could have been big trouble for the Reds because Jordan Pattaya was well and truly lured in. No matter what, he had to tackle Ratave. And also, do you think Drua can beat Hurricanes? Says Timothy. I think it will be a good game. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Drua up against the New Zealand sides because they get a little bit more time to kind of get acquainted at Super Rugby level. Good run forward from Ravovo. Another step there. Getting closer. And also, there go Drua, says Siru. Now off the back. Oh, they've stolen at the Reds in the breakdown, though. And it was Fraser McWright who has now got the ball in hand. They're trying to hold him up. Ratave has tried to wrestle him down to the ground now. Kalani Thomas, but a close opportunity there. They don't want to give the Reds their 18th points, do they? They are sitting 18 points to 9. I will mention the scoreboard is just miles behind at the moment. Also, I think Drua will get busted by Julian Savia, says Timothy, for that one. And also, South Island need to make an NRL team. They'll probably do better. As on there says Lax Hexel, and then the serious face at the end. But it was a great run forward from Ravovo, but unfortunately, Fraser McWright straight in that breakdown was able to turn it over. Okay, now they have updated it to the 18 points to the Reds. But currently, 9 points difference between these two sides. The Drua, at minimum, they want to get themselves a bonus point here. If they manage to get themselves the win, they actually move themselves up to 6th in the competition or somewhere around that mark. But Togia Tama making his way out onto the field now. And I believe that is for the number 16, Koto. Sharika Davita now wrestled down to the ground. Frank Armani going for the kick of mine. Decides to go for the grubber instead, waiting to see if the ball bounces awkwardly. It sits up nicely, though. And it is kicked down. Feel good. Take no. Just a bit of a juggle there for Armani and Drua should stick to sevens. What do you think, bro? Says Timothy. I mean, I love watching them in sevens, but I think they've got a lot of potential in union as well. Like anything above finishing in the bottom, like 2 or 3, it's probably a good success for the Drua, but we are doing the sevens that is coming up in less than a month's time, so be sure to stick around for that. We will be covering the Fijian side in the sevens. Alongside not just that, we are also going to be doing all of those games, whether it is Samoa, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. The Blitzbox currently on a winning streak and a half. Kicked in behind. It's a good kick as well. Now plenty of pressure on the right winger. Pass it across and now kick down the middle of the field once again. I believe that was Ratave. Big boot. It's a great kick from the Fijian Drua, and Fiji's versus number 2 on the leaderboard right now. This will be a massive win if they can make it. Says Holy Hamster, sure would, and it will stop the Reds from making their way up any further in the table. And also, what's the point, Warriors? I can't even win games, says Shane there for that one. Hopefully this season, I mean, everyone always says top 8 is on the cards, but it's always going to be very tough. But missed tackles, 29 missed tackles for the Fijian Drua. That is why there have been so many line breaks for the Reds throughout this game, only missing the 7 tackles for the Reds there. Now throwing it to the back, taken nicely by Ryan Smith, McWright. Now first receiver and Hamish Stewart, James O'Connor on the outside. Jordan Pataya's got space, and that one has gone down the field. And also too much as well. There's Anna King, a little bit of a mistake there for the Fijian Drua. I believe that could end up being a 5-metre scrum. Thoughts on Angus Blythe? Very tall bloke. He earned John Earl Scholarship at Bond University, for his rugby performance. And Drua getting better now, playing more like a team, exactly right. It looks like Jordan Pataya is down with a bit of an injury here. India currently losing their 3rd wicket in their matchup against Sri Lanka, sitting 76 for 3 for anyone who is curious about the rugby and the cricket that is going on. But he got a good hit in the ribcage, and then to make it worse, the Fijian player, he pushed down on the ribcage to get up, as I'll give credit to Fiji Drua, still hanging in there with the pros as well, says Lake Show, exactly right. It was a good shot from Ratave and Tomase, the chat. And it was from a holy answer. I'm not too sure what their last word is. I don't know whether or not I can read it out, unfortunately. But Jordan Patai scored 2 tries in 2022, 4 games, tackle bust 5. He looks like he's going to be continuing, but he took a hard shot right in the ribcage from Ratave, who did not miss. Bomb straight in there. And then to make it worse, he uses his chest to get up. And also Fiji have huge potential. They sure do. And they look like a dangerous side. But Angus Blythe, going back to him, he looks like he is going to be a solid lock to have for the Reds. And watch the NRL Women's earlier today. That one says Shane. Currently 5 metres out from the line. The Reds are going to have themselves another scrum feed. If they get another try, they are working their way closer and closer to getting that bonus point for 3 tries or more ahead of your opponent. A relay show says MH Joy. Well, that one, but Jordan Pataya currently, he's been in a battle out there on the field. And at the moment, Brad Forney's running low on water. Would have thought they'd give the man a little bit more than that. But now, going to be ready to go. For a moment, I am quickly going to go like this and like this. And I will just quickly, one moment. That took a long time to get up the odds, but currently the Fijian Drua, they are sitting quite heavily the underdogs, almost around $20 or so, to be able to win this game from here. Definitely with the scrum feed where it is in Women's Super Rugby, advertised on Tuesday. And now I do see that it is going to be the Tuesday game, which is pretty awesome that we do get to see it. But currently the Fijian Drua, I'm just going to make sure, $26 exactly for them in this one. And they have got another one in Roto. And there's and also, who's your favourite Reds player? I love watching Harry Wilson in action. He's just phenomenal off the back of a scrum with his general play. But then Taniela Tupou, another player, I would say, and then Tate McDermott, the young and up-and-coming halfback for the Reds. He's also a very good one to watch out for. And that's so I've got my top 3, but out of all of them, I just love watching Harry Wilson with his skill set. But then there's nothing better than seeing Tongan Thor run down the wing. Actually, Fiji and Drew are down to $21 now. So I guess something happened there. Fiji's defense needs to be worked on. The moment Reds get the ball, they advance 60 meters, says Holy Hamster. And just quickly mentioning about that, so far throughout this game, the Reds have had a total of 506 meters carried, which is a lot. And if the Fiji and Drew can slow that down a little bit, although I will mention Fiji and Drew in their first 2 games, they gave up 40 points to their opposition. In their last 2 games, they have not done that, and they also won up against the Rebels. And Fiji and Drew are hanging in against the Red side, beat Chiefs last year, who beat the Chiefs last year. It's a big push, and the Reds now have got the advantage. It's a knock-on, though, so they will be going back. They are going up, saying that they might have scored it. There's a few high fives, but there was the knock-on there. It was Spencer Jeans. Craig Cooper is very liked in New Zealand, and Aaron Cruden is playing in the Japan comp. Says Shane, we've got quite a few Kiwis in that Japanese competition. Some of them that you haven't seen for a little while, such as, I think the last one that I spotted, how I was like, oh, so that's where he ended up, now I've forgotten him. That shows you how often you do see their names mentioned. He used to be in the Highlanders midfield, but I can't think of who it is. And Dan Spellin, and there says Lax for that one, and also Fax, Lax, and they are not very, says Shane for that one. Always not very liked in New Zealand. Yeah, he has a bit of a split ever since that Richie McCaw incident. I think a lot of Kiwis just haven't quite learnt to forgive him. Unfortunately, we're now going to the back there for the Reds, 5 meters out. Going for this rolling maul at the back. Josh Nass has got his hands on it. This is looking very dangerous. Continuing to drive. He drops down, and Nasser gets the try for the Reds. Oh, is that push and shove in the background? No, it is not going to be. And also go Drua go. And that one, and now they are going to have to try and work their way just a little bit further back into the match. But NASA able to score the try that could give them the bonus point, depending on how it sits at the end of the 80 minutes. But now the bonus point is on the cards as long as they keep 3 or more tries ahead. And Ben Smith, I know he's going back there. There's another young guy for the Highlanders who used to be in the midfield, I think it was. Was it the Highlanders? There was a guy a while ago how I was like, oh. And I was like, isn't Lima Supawanga playing overseas? I think he's in France currently for one of the sides. Who am I thinking of? He's a young guy. He disappeared a couple of years ago from New Zealand rugby. Was he in the fullback? Maybe it was Ben Tiariki. Oh, no, Ben. No, he was still at the Highlanders, I think. And also, Houston, we have a problem. And there says, Lex, they certainly do currently, the Fijian Drua, but they just need to score themselves the next try of the match. It will be very useful for them. James O'Connor now lining up this one. 58 minutes down in this game, 22 to go. And it's going to be about 22 points that they have to try and make up here for the Fijian Drua. Just a few less. And James O'Connor, he's missed that one. Going to hit the post and bounce back. Hamish, do you know the latest news on Wallabies test matches opponents this year? I heard that they will play 3 tests against Los Pumas in Australia and Argentine. Not sure though, says Ed. I know that they've got an English series, I believe, is one that is coming up in the future. I'll just see whether or not I can find you any other information. But I believe we play Ireland in a series. They play England in a series. And then I assume South Africa probably, I think South Africa have Wales in a series as well. Fixtures and results, we'll see what we can find for the near future. Taken nicely there by Angus Blythe going up for that one. And it's going to be back on the side of the Reds. No clear release is the call there. Now Harry Wilson trying to run straight over the top of it. Would have been Koroi Duadua. Still available. Jeans passes back. Is it Ryan Crotty? No. But I know that he is still playing overseas, isn't he? For Ryan Crotty. Who am I thinking of? It's going to annoy me now, and I'm going to have to look through all the Japanese squads. See who it is. But now, Virat Kohli losing his wicket just then up against Sri Lanka. Now firing it back across on the halfway line. Quick hands not quite working out for the Fijian Drua, and a couple knock-ons, which does lead to the scrum feed. Right. What can I find out? For March, no, it will be in July, won't it? Go over there. Customize calendar. We want to do it by month, not day. June, July. What we got in July? Can we do just July? There we go. No events. We don't want it in today. No, not. Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, it's going to be tricky to find on their website. It's actually quite an annoying one to try and do, but I believe it is England versus Australia. And come on, Fiji, I believe in you. And also, it doesn't matter if C or B team and Australia against France in the series last year. Bragging rights, says Lax Excellent. Also, Willowbox joined the Rugby Championship this year. I believe they are taking part in it. And we have got a couple games for the All Blacks up against the Springboks in South Africa, which is going to be a late night game. But of course, we will be covering it on the channel. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. We will be doing more than just rugby, more than just cricket. Other sports will be popping up on that channel. So be sure to check out that link. That will take you to the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. We have got plenty more content coming on in the near future. Now, Jeans going short side. Hamish Stewart passes it off to Hunter by Sami. Tries to straight and just bumps off his opposite number, Vota. But the Reds, they look like they're starting to really find their feet in this game, starting to build that momentum. Ryan Smith gets his ankles taken out from underneath him. Jeans with the flat pass out to Paisami, takes contact. Wasn't quite able to find the offload in the end. We're 30 metres out now, I should say, for them. Now continuing to drive forward, Angus Blythe, possibly a future Wallaby, depending on how it goes. Now Jeans passes it back across. Was first receiver. Now out to Hunter Paisami. He's had about 4 carries in the last minute or so for him, but it is going back for the initial penalty. And Amelia Kerr's getting 100 tomorrow. Says Shane there. Naby's got Rugby Championship, Ireland series and England. Says Lex, I know that we do play England at the November International. So it's kind of the end of year international. We do get to play up against England as well as South Africa playing up against England and whatnot. I'm just going to see whether or not I can find All Blacks rugby fixtures schedule. There we go. See whether or not we can find the ones that they have got coming up. I think they're normally a little bit late updating it sometimes though, so it probably will have to be another month or two before they get everything confirmed in terms of where those games are going to be taking place. The 2022 international season, stay tuned for the season draw, sign up to Team All Blacks. Okay, so yeah, they haven't got the information just yet, But now coming out onto the field, it will be Solo that is replacing Tawaki. To be fair, Fiji's doing great against the team that beat the Crusaders yesterday. And there says Holy Hamster. They won and currently now trying to drive their way forward. It has gone down. And also drawing his time to build chemistry. That is true, which is why those games up against the New Zealand sides taking place in 39 or 40 days' time. All Blacks will face England and Twickenham in November. And that one says it. So, yeah, that's going to be a cracking matchup for them. That is for sure. Jeans now firing it back 10 metres out, trying to pierce the gap, going himself. Got crushed by a big Fijian prop, which is not what he would have liked. Harry Wilson driven backwards. Good Met defence by the Drua. Now passing it back across. Seru almost had the try earlier, but it was disallowed due to the forward pass. And they will let us know because of the COVID situation. Exactly right now, Taniela Tupou, bit of a step there from Big Tong and Thor. Still 5 out. Jeans goes back across 7 phases and grubber there from Paisami. Doesn't work out on feet. It was Jordan Batai trying to kick the ball forward. Doesn't work out from though. Misses it. Come on, Drew. Keep improving. All the best. Says David there in revenge game. Says Lax Axel for that one. And also, who's the best back three of the All Blacks? Or what's the best back three for the All Blacks, says Ryan. I would say, tricky. Oh, that's a great backline movement out to Nasser. He's got Fraser McBride on the inside. He almost fell over. He sells the dummy. He goes himself, and Nasser scores the try. They might have to cheat for a forward pass a little bit earlier on. That's one, but he's got cramp. He's getting stretched out. Fraser McBride, oh, mate, I could have had that one if he had passed it, but he was like, nah, my turn. I'm going to be getting this one. And he does end up scoring himself the try. And now we are up to 63 minutes through this game. So we will quickly add that one for them, and we will go like that as well. But very nicely done by the Reds. And we will go like this, and we will go like this. But for me personally, I would say currently you probably got to have Will Jordan in there somewhere just because he's a try-scorer machine. And then after that, you're probably looking at, I guess, Geordie Barrett's probably your pick if you're going for an opposition who do a lot of box kicks just because he has got that extra little bit of the height alongside FFS. There's Holy Hamster there. Yeah, it did work very nicely for the Reds. So draw and pass about 4 in a row out to Josh Nasser. Almost slipped over himself, which is why I believe the number 14 was lured in to think that it was going to be an attempt of Will Jordan, Rico Ioane, and Geordie Barrett. I would say it's somewhere close to that. And if you're not going Geordie Barrett at Rico Ioane at number 11, you probably go Sever Reese instead of George Bridge. Just on that near side. I'd like to see maybe in the future Lester Fainar Nuku as an option there for them, but I don't believe he will be. But Nasser taken off the field. He scored 2 tries tonight, and now the coach has said, right, that's enough of you to make your way off because they do not want to lose any more fellows to injury because he's currently limping quite badly. Don't agree, says Shane Hayes for that one as well. And also true, says Lax Axel. So I guess centre combo. Who would you go with centre combo? Ryan, do let me know. And also, the Wallabies will face France once again on November. So yeah, plenty of games that are taking place in the near future. It was just great to see for rugby, just having international games, Super Rugby games alongside it. Paisami, he's missed that one by about the length of the post times 2 almost there. But James O'Connor is also coming off the field. And I believe the replacement for him will be either Matt Greeley or maybe Lawson Creighton. Might have made his way back out there. But Josh Nasser, geez, he almost does the ankle there. It looks dangerous. And then he gets a shot on the ribcage from the number 14 for himself, just for his troubles. But currently the score in this game, 28 points to 9 here. And the bonus point, you would have to say almost as secured for the Reds up against the Drua. And to think how close this game was at halftime compared to now. The Fijian Drua only behind by 9 at that point. But ever since then, they have not been able to get themselves any more. India currently sitting 93 for 4 at tea time after the first session. Down the wing now for the Fijian. Flying Fijian, it was their number 14, whose name I cannot say, so I'm better off calling him the right winger. Now continuing to push themselves forward. Do you think Drua will do well or do better against the New Zealand teams? I'd like to think by then they would have had a little bit more time to kind of re-gel type thing, because I know that for them, the NRC last year was cancelled, so they haven't played in like over a year, but now Della, they will get consistent games in this competition. So I feel like hopefully they start finding their feet. And also 11, Geordie Jordan at 14, and then 11 is Clark, Reese, Lester, or Reasi. So very good options there at number 11. So I assume you'd have Rico Ioane as your midfield, maybe. And that's a good offload there. And now ball on the outside. Ratave scores it. And it's going to be the first try of the match for the Fijian Drua, and perhaps not their last. But Ratave at number 23 goes over for the Fijian Drua. Just a classic backline movement. And it worked out for them. The Reds caught napping a little bit. And the Fijian Drua, they do strike for their first try of the match. And it was Ratave who was able to score it 66 minutes. into this game now. And now, I mean, I said that the bonus point was almost secure, but this is now possibly changing it up a little bit, because if they do end up conceding another try, maybe we do get to see the Fijian Drua stop them from getting that bonus point, and Aaron Smith should be All Blacks halfback for Test, says Shane Hayes. So yeah, they've probably got him, Perenara, and also Christie and Weber. But then maybe like a young guy such as who's coming up through the rankings? Xavier Rowe. I think a lot of people have high praises him. Also Falau Fakatava. Predictions, current ABs get snubbed from squad this year and replaces them, says Lax Axel. Oh, okay. That's a tricky one, isn't it? I feel like, loose forward trio, they're probably going to ditch Jacobson, unfortunately, just because he is injured at the moment and hasn't really had too much game time. And looks a Kiwi, and there, as well, says Sabnam, and their dog face as well. Nice one. And also, I think that Rico is better on the wing. I'd have David Avili and Anton Leonard Brown as my centres. Says Sebastian there for that one, but that one's gone straight over from the Fijian Drua, now making the score 16 points to the Fijian Drua and 28 to the Reds as well. But currently, it was a good run forward. I believe it was actually Togi Atama who did make his way forward there. And then Ratabe goes over the line. And also, what about Finley Christie, a halfback? It's also an option. A very good, very nice. And there says Holly Hamster. So we are admiring the, I guess, if you call it an insult. Is it an insult? I guess it is. I mean, dogs are cute, so cheers, mate. And also, we've got this. So the rumor is that all three matches of England versus Wallabies will be held in Australia, says Ed. Oh, okay. So they're going to have a 3-match series in Australia, perhaps, for that one. But now, currently, 6 Blackadder, 7 Kane, and 8 Ardy. And that one, says Dean. The ball does bounce. And that one as well. So now it is going back. I'm just going to have a look. Where did his comments go? They disappeared. Overall, I think they'll be in live chat, maybe. Yeah, it is. It says Dogface in live chat from Sabnam. And that one. And currently now, good exit from the Fijian Drua. And now they will be looking towards the touchline. But anyone who's new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the Kiwi Lad Sport. It is the pinned comment on this live stream. Currently 69 minutes through this game. The Reds are just in there. And read my comments as well. Just did, mate. It was just they weren't that great, were they? A bit, I guess you could say, stale overall. But I appreciate you calling me cute. I usually appreciate it. Also, I predict very early, of course, Roger Tovasicek will usurp Enor, or will usurp, and also it says a fashion there. Oh, he timed him out. As I would have been interested to see what else he had to say for that one. But now a good run up the middle here for the Fijian Drua. It's going to be a foot race. No one is going to catch him. And this is another try for the Fijian Drua. The comeback is on, and they score again in the 69th. And this time it was Josefa Tamani who does score it. What is going on here? Late comeback from the Fijian Drua. Not only does that cancel out the bonus point here, but that is also going to now be the Fijian Drua within the 7 of the Reds, I believe it will be. And also we've got who, and also we've got that link sits down the bottom. Also, who's the best rugby commentator? I mean, Grant Nisbet for New Zealand is just an awesome one to listen to. Like, overall, he's just got such a knowledge. Ian Smith as well, even though he does a little bit more cricket recently. And also, is this going to be an upset? It could be. The Fijian Drua getting right back into this game now. And now they are sitting on 21 with an easy kick to come. So they will be within 5 points of the Reds. The Reds caught napping at the end. It's actually a drop kick from the Fijian Drua. They're like, you know what? Rather than going for the tee, we will just go for the drop kick. It was a great chase from Faisler there. Try and get on. I actually thought it was one of the backs who were running their way forward. So Fijian Drua, ladies and gentlemen, have gone from paying $36 to now paying $6.50. So if you lock them in for $36, you might be a very lucky man in the near future, depending on how this one goes. But now the bonus point is for the Fijian Drua for being within the 7. Tony Johnson as well. And there says Shane. That one, but Tamani scores it between the sticks. And now 10 minutes left in this game, and the Drua are fighting back in this one. The last 5 tries, we saw 3 from the Reds and now 2 from the Fijian Drua within 3 minutes of each other, kicking that one off high. But the last thing that they want, I believe that's a knock on by the Reds, and it is going back for the scrum feed. Yeah, the last thing that they want here is to give away a penalty. And also, we have got the Ian Smith is doing the Cricket World Cup, so that will be cool to listen to him throughout those matches. And also, we have got that Wanker. Is that a new thing? Not that I know of, but I guess in his case, he did get a special category made for himself. And also, plenty of time, says Rishi there for that one. And yeah, 10 minutes is a long time. Definitely because we just saw like 2 back-to-back tries for the Fijian Drua within 3 minutes. Grant Nisbet plus Justin Marshall plus Ian Smith, best combination ever. Says Dan, yeah, always very good to listen to for us Kiwis. I think they're kind of the main choice as well for us. I'm trying to think of who else we have in New Zealand. Why can I not think of anyone else? I feel like there are more, but I feel like those are the three big ones, aren't they? Now, Frank Lamani going to be firing this one in. Looks like they might be going for the backline. Remember, the Waratahs, they will be taking on the Western Force tomorrow. It will be they've got 4:10 p.m. Okay, that might not be the case, though. And also, we've got there, Avanaka Joe Tamani. And that one, yeah, brilliant try for him. And just ran straight through. And he's off to Ram Ranch. Another one for the Fijian Drua. Linking up on the outside. And now it's going to be a foot race. The number 11 up Bossy. He's got plenty of toe. And he does go in. He's going to make it an easier kick as well. And he scores the try for the Fijian Drua. And they score again. They're taking the lead in this game. But the Fijian Drua, it's a Bossy. Does end up scoring it. What are we witnessing here at Suncorp Stadium? It's just a miracle. 5 minutes for the Drua. They've scored 3 tries. And now they're going to have the lead. If they do get this one over, Valu is surprised for that one. An upset, says Shane. And also we have got there, what's your time? Internet is 28-21. Says what a Jeshua for that one. So we are currently sitting. One moment. I will wait till the clock comes back up for that one. And yes, Drua says Laxax on try well. And WGS says Paddy Wagon, 5 minutes of absolute madness for the Fijian Drua. 3 tries in 5 minutes. They've scored plenty. Oh, how the table have turned. You're missing Keith Quinn as well in there. That is true. And also Drew all the way to Viniana there. But a bossy gets at you. I'm missing Australia versus Test matches, KCS Plus, but we will be covering that from tomorrow onwards. So we are missing day one. Australia betting currently. I can let you know the score of West Phoenix, and the Warriors lost in that one, although we might be seeing something extremely special here for the Fijian Drua. Maybe it doesn't just work for the Chiefs. Maybe it works for the Drua as well, this kit. But now, lining this one up, Teller, if he gets it over, they will take the lead for the first time in this match. The Fijian Drua, he strikes it. It's curling. It hits a post and it bounces back out. It is going to be an even playing field of 28-28. And also, we have got there, mate, that's much better as well. Here's Paddy Wagon. But currently, Australia sitting 200 for 2, so doing very nicely there, Kawaja. And now, if you look at the odds, the Drua to win this game are paying $6. No, they're paying $2.40. They were $36 earlier on in the game. 36. And they have gone down. My voice is going to disappear here with the action that we are seeing. And come on, says Paddy Wagon there. But now Jordan Patai is going off the field due to an injury. But a couple quick line breaks for the Drua has now led to them being in the perfect position to go on and possibly win this. Messed up the conversion. And the SS Sebastian, yeah, that one would have been an extremely nice one to get over for them. But now charging the away forward once again for the Fijian Drua, Frank Lamani available here. And also, just so you know, Vegan Sport is having heart problems as well, being a Fiji fan. For that one, says Chris Howard. Also, commentators have got to shut up. The curse is real. Says Lex Axel. It's a counter right there from the Reds, though. And now Spencer Jeans fires it back across. Hunter by Sami. Now off to Fraser McWright. Suru Uru building up. The last thing Fiji need is to give away a penalty here. And the breakdown. Hunter by Sami bumping off the tackle with the Fijian Drua. Still only 6 minutes left. And also, if Red loses, imagine the backlash news. It would be huge, although they do look like they are continuing to build themselves towards their 22. Towards the 5 meter line of the Fijian Drua. Suru with a good carry forward. And Dolakoto is still out on the field. Sri Lanka all over India in day-night test. CSD, I did say they have got them 4 down in the first session. But now sniping around the side. Spencer Jeans, he throws the ball forward. And it is going to be now the scrum feed for the Fijian Drua. Why are you wearing Chiefs shirt? Why not say this? Says Music Kiwi. Pretty much, I don't actually own a Crusaders kit. So that is why. And BRK, I was doing in L Women's earlier. And there says Shane Hayes, I should say. I said K there as well for Music Kiwi. And also we have got there, if Reds lose, imagine the backlash. But yeah, it will be huge for them. If it's NRL drop goal, it is. Says Ed Vogel. And yeah, currently the Reds, it was Spencer Jean trying to spin out of that tackle. Did end up knocking it on though. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We will be back for every single Fijian Drua and Super Rugby game that has taken place this season. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you do want to help us out, we have got the Kiwi Lad Sport channel that we have recently restarted getting going. So be sure to help us out over there. We will be doing the NRL on there. We will be having the A-League, Premier League, pretty much every sport other than rugby and cricket. And even rugby and cricket will be slotting in on there. Fiji coming back, good one. So here's Danny Lewis. Yeah, 6 minutes left. Oh, in fact, it's only 4.5 minutes left for this one. Oh. Okay, it's actually a scrum feed for the Reds here. I thought that it was stripped out of the hands of Spencer Jeans, but I guess they say that it was taken back by the Fijian Drua Raiders versus Sharks. It was a good game last night. There's Shane there. Currently now, Jock Campbell straight behind the scrum. It's important for the Reds to get themselves some points, and they do need to convert. And hey, Amish, congrats on TK. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated you being here for this one. And also tune in from Moscow as well. After finding you fellas tonight, Saturday lunchtime here, Kiwi from Papamoa Beach, a passionate Chiefs supporter. So nice timing come on the Drua. And also, can you cover darts too? I mean, we could cover some darts on the Kiwi Lad Sport Pats in the future if that is something you guys do want to see. Although I guess it's probably a tricky one to describe, but if we have the scoreboard up, I think that would be possibly all right. But if that is something you guys want to see, be sure to recommend it over on the Kiwi Lad Sport channel, as that is kind of our random sports plus anything that we're not sure if we're going to get a copyright strike for. But I appreciate you being here, Captain Keg. And yeah, the Chiefs having a good win over the Crusaders. That's the thing. I'm from Canterbury, but I was sent this Chiefs kit, so I wore it, and they do win a majority of the time where I'm wearing it. So I probably got to leave Canterbury very soon. It's going to be the free kick. Harry Wilson takes the quick tab, driving himself towards the line, only a metre short now for the Reds. And with 3 minutes left on the clock, this could be the deciding factor. There's another advantage there to the Reds for the player not being able to roll away. I believe it was Togi Atama getting closer and closer to the line now. In fact, it was Koroi Duadua. Now out to Hunter by Sami, wrestled down by Taylor. Getting close. They've got men on the top side. If they can find them, it's going to be the drawing pass. Fraser McRae spinning out of the tackle, still just short of the channel, or just short of the line, I should say. So around the side, over he goes. And it's the try to the Reds. Now, could that be the icing on the cake for them? You're Chiefs now, mate. There says Betty Wagham. That is going to be another try scored, and it was Siruru. He did have a try earlier on in the day, but it was disallowed. And now in the 77th minute, he gives the Reds the lead back. But the last time we saw a kick, it was Hunter by Sami who got it a little bit wrong. And also tries his Ed and Paddy Wagon has ZF there, but it's not over yet. We've still got plenty of time. At the end of the day, Fijian Drua scored 3 tries in 5 minutes. They can do it again. We'll have to wait and see, though. I leave Canterbury and move to Hamilton. Says Danny Lewis. Might have to. This stage. And also, how you have you been to Hamilton? I have not. I've been to Palmerston North, probably the closest to Hamilton that I have been overall. Is Palmerston North? No, it's not in Hamilton. Never mind. It's kind of around that same region-ish, I believe. And a try. Says Ed Vogel, but currently 2 minutes left of your commentary, bro. Good stuff, mate. Cheers, says Roy. So thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate you being here. And we are going to be back tomorrow with Waratahs taking on the Western Force. Also, every other game of the Six Nations and also the Super Rugby we are covering on the channel. So the next game that is on the channel, it will be Munster taking on the Bulls, and what should be an exciting one. And then England versus Ireland at 5:45 a.m. today. We are going to be back, and we are raring to go. We also do cricket. And we also do have that Kiwi Lad Sport channel lining it up from the touchline. Strikes it. It's hit the post as well. So that late drama continues. If the Fijian Drua do manage to get themselves there. And also what were you doing in Palmerston North? I think we were just traveling, just kind of visiting people up there. But Siru got it over. So 2 missed kicks from the Reds could have helped them out, but they are still going to be only the 5 points ahead now. So if the Drua score in the last minute of this game, they will win. Chasing their kickoff player taken out in the air. I believe that could end up being a penalty. Okay. It's not over Drua. Enjoy Drua fire, boys. Says Sir. And at the end of the day, at worst, they've got themselves a bonus point, but they won't be looking that way. The Fijian Drua, they will want more than just that. Now hanging on to the ball here, the Reds. They're only about 40 meters out from the run line. Come on, Drua, score. They try and take it. Says Paddy Wagon, still available. Referee was going to give the advantage, but they said ball is out, so he's done extremely well, Chirika Davida, to just get out of there when he needed to. 30 seconds left, cricket, NRL rugby, netball tomorrow. Yeah, there's plenty of sport on. That is for sure. But now waiting for this ball at the back. Going to be fired back across from Spencer Jeans, goes to Fortuaka. 18 seconds now. Last thing they need is a handling error. And also, are they playing games in Fiji? Not yet, but hopefully we can see a Fijian game in the future. 10 seconds left here for the Reds. They're looking to just close out this one. And also, what did you think about Drua Tamasi? He was phenomenal off the bench. It's going to be a counter ruck from the Drua. They've got the ball. Now Frank Lamani goes back across, offloaded back to Teller. They've got it, and they've got the advantage as well, I believe, for offside. So we will be going back for the penalty rather than the scrum feed. Everyone getting in that one. Oh, that was a cheap shot from the Drua player. You don't need to do that, because that might get the penalty reversed. Hunter by Sami gives him a bit of a clap for it. So James O'Connor is Bernard Foley. Positive post. As on there says Lexex, and also Toso Amaiviti. And also they'll host the Kiwi sides in Suva, says Sebastian. So that's pretty awesome that we will get to see a few games take place from Fiji. But now the penalty 40 meters out. And also, how much did Juicy are you wearing? as well. It was actually, wait, as in you want to buy it, or how much did I pay for it? Because I actually got it for free because one of our supporters sent it to us, or one of our subscribers. So that is why I've got it, and that is why I always wear it. Follow me. Also, what's next, Mish? So our next one will be the Bulls taking on Munster. And also alongside that, we will be keeping you guys informed about the Six Nations game between Scotland and Italy, followed straight away by England versus Ireland. That will be at 5:45. And then after that, we might have Leinster versus Ulster. Perhaps some Fijian fans are great. Says Danny Lewis, they are indeed, but now 5 meters out from the line here. The Fijian boys will be trying to make their way over the line. And if they get the try, this will be a draw. If they get the draw, that will go to golden point, I believe, which could be a test of endurance for both of these sides. But currently 10 meters out here for Dolakoto. Important throw, the most important throw of the match, you'd say. Please, says Paddy Wagon for that one. Going in. It's stolen by the Reds, and they're going to be trying to kick this one. He does get tackled into touch, and that is going to be the end of the game, and the Reds win at 33 points to 28. They get it at the end. The Drua, they will still get the bonus point, but they were so close to being able to pull off a monumental comeback in that game, and they will know how much of a fight they were in for this game, the Reds. If they underestimated the Drua, they certainly won't be now. The favourite option for this game was for the Reds to win by 13 plus. Certainly wasn't the case. For that's one, Redrado should be playing for the squad, says Danny Lewis. It would be pretty awesome seeing him in a Fijian Drua kit in the future. Line dive, try conversion. And there says Sarah for that one. But the line out throw, it was a brilliant steal from Angus Blythe. We were talking about his long limbs earlier on in the day. Certainly got some long ones for himself. Or in fact, it was Siru Uru who was able to get across and won it. And then from there, they passed the ball back, just ran it into touch and said, thanks very much for coming. But this is the table as it was sitting before the game. So the Reds with this win move themselves up into second. They will be sitting on 17 points. The Fijian Drua, they will stay in ninth, but they will move up to 5 points for being within the 7 points. End score 33 points to 28. Awesome game though. Says Roy, it was indeed. The fact that the Drua fought back so hard, like you can see here, 3 tries with Tave, Tamani, and Habosi, all scoring within 5 minutes of each other. Just bang, bang, bang. And then from there, they were able to work hard. But then Nasser getting 2 tries in quick succession in that middle section as well. And also, what a game still. Says Paddy Wagon, and so close indeed. And also said, thank you, Drua. And it says Sarah, and also give the Drua the bonus point. It's at least they deserve after such a performance. Yeah. Brilliant one for the Fiji Drua, and nothing to be ashamed about in this game. They went out there, they fought for the full 80 minutes. I thought their second half was actually stronger than their first, which is something that for the Fijian Drua will give them confidence, getting that stamina up, and also just being able to last for the full 80. Also, we have got the Vanaka Drua and Vanaka brother for the live commentary. Says, oh, no worries at all, mate. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. We are back next week with the Fijian Drua game. They will be playing up against, one moment, we'll just make sure they have got the Western Force as the early game on Saturday. These are all in New Zealand time as well, for anyone wondering. But we will be covering that game alongside every single one of these ones on the channel as well. But it's going to be an exciting round next week to see exactly who ends up propelling themselves forward in the competition. But we have got one more game on for this weekend. It's going to be tomorrow. Waratahs taking on the Western Force. That is at 4 p.m. New Zealand time. So be sure to check out that live stream. We will be live for it. And thanks, says Viniana, no worries at all. And what's next? Says Gareth. So the next one that we have got coming up, it is going to be the Bulls taking on the Munster side. So that is going to be the next one. And set piece, and needs a lot of work. Draw for hard. Says Ron in there. And also awesome game, Vidi boys. And as the rugby on Spark Sport for the next game, it will be for the URC, I believe, which is great news if you do have Spark Sport and great call name, says David Lamont. And also we have got the Vanaka bro. And we can see that the Fiji have been improving in their game since round 3. A new club joined a pro comp, and there's a lot of work and pressure. Good stuff coming from Fiji and their futures. Exactly right. And cheers for the game, Irish, says Sebastian. No worries at all, mate. And thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Like I mentioned, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. You can see the Reds. We're missing Tate McDermott. They were a little bit as number 9. So hopefully he does get to return in the near future for them, although I'm not too sure how serious of an injury he's got. And Blaze got so mad. And there's his heel fries. I assume the thing that would have made it hurt a little bit more is the fact that they got right back into the game just to then miss out right in the last moment. But this is also, like I mentioned, the link to the Kiwi Sport for anyone who does want to follow a little bit of the NRL that we will be doing on that, the IPL as well for the cricket, the A-League, the Premier League, everything else that is unrelated to Super Rugby and also international cricket. We'll be going over that. You shot that turkey and why at the end. And there says Paddy Wagon. Yeah, it's an interesting time to try and spam. I guess that's when they think that people will be trying to click on links and whatnot. But I'm going to look through some stats to do with this game because it was an absolutely incredible way to finish off a Saturday night, all hot boys and girls. And there, as I says, Gareth, Currently 619 metres carried for the Reds, but the Fijian Drua, they were catching up quite nicely, getting themselves up to 476 metres carried. Defenders beaten 32 by the Reds, 15 by the Drua, 5 clean breaks for the Reds, and 7 for Fijian Drua. Damn, the Drua, though. Says Zach, what a comeback. I mean, at this stage, like, these were the last-minute tries that did help them out, but then if you look at this, once it comes along, unfortunately, if I go too much that way, my finger's going to disappear off the screen, but this here, Ratave, Tamane, and also Habose, all in a row, bang, 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 with the 3 tries in 5 minutes. And we love them, don't we? As I said, Betty Wagon are also going to be mod for the NRL channel. And there's these Hill Fries. We are, at the moment, we did actually get a few extra moderators when we first started up the channel, but when we do need more, it will be you guys who are active on that channel that we will be looking to as possible moderators, I guess I should say. Currently 165 tackles made by the Fijian Drua throughout this game. They did miss 32, though, which was not completely ideal for them throughout that one. Penalties conceded 15 against them. And no, you can't just throw them out there. And the Drua did so well, says Mary. They did. They fought back hard. They had 39% of the possession. And when you hear that, that really sinks in of how well they played when they did have the ball in hand. Jordan Pataya, he did have 77 metres carried for the Reds, 104 metres for Hunter Paisami, 6 defenders beaten. And you tell him, it says, Petty Wagner, also lol. The mod there, but he had the most defenders beaten out of any player for the Reds. 70 metres for Fraser McWright, 70 metres for Suru Uru, who also beat 4 defenders, scored himself the try, had 17 carries throughout that match, but 79 carry metres for Ravovo in his 7 carries, and also 4 defenders beaten, 2 clean break, 1, I believe that was the passes made. He only made 1, and also didn't manage to get himself the try assist, but he was very close. Did deserve a try for the effort. Also, I mean, Josefa Tamani coming off the bench, getting himself 94 running meters, including that massive runaway try that he got. 13 meters for Harry Wilson, or 13 tackles, I should say there. And then 11 for Fraser McWright with the 1 turnover 1. Also looking through at some of the stats for the Fijian Drua, who were the standouts in terms of how many tackles made. It was actually Abisalomi Vota did make 15 and got 1 turnover. 12 tackles made by Ravovo. 15 for Chirika Davita, and then also 13 for Dolakoto, with a very good effort off the bench there for Frank Lamani, getting a total of 11. And my heart just covered from last game. And then this comes, and that's the thing, England versus like Ireland could be this close as well, which is the worrying thing for our voice. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be setting up those live streams in a very short moment to get them all scheduled and ready to go, probably in about half an hour's time. But we have got Munster versus the Bulls. That will be at 3 a.m. New Zealand time. And then after that, we have got another one, which is going to be Ireland versus England. That is at around 5:30 New Zealand time. So be sure to stay tuned for those ones. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're back tomorrow with Super Rugby as well. And what does modding get you? Pretty much just the ability to time out the ones who try and spam their adult links, I think is the best way of looking at it. Pretty much it just gives you the opportunity to make sure that no one's being too offensive in the chat and everything along those lines. But yeah, that is the link to the Kiwi Lad Sport for anyone who does want to check it out. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all a little bit later on tonight for our next rugby live stream. But I will see you all